Welcome to the Sharpe Way Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, right at 7:15 on the East Coast. And I know I am a little late, but 15 minutes, but on purpose at least. So yes, I was rushing to throw things together as fast as I could. I was working, of course, today, but then I kind of knew what I was going to do because it was obvious to me. I couldn't do a show last night. I was dealing with some family issues that I have, I think, dealt with most of them, which is good. Some of you reached out to me. Thank you for that. Those of you reached out. I think I dealt with those issues relatively well. Maybe we'll find out soon. But so I thought, okay, no worries, because last night was the mayoral debate in New York City. I'm like, okay, great. I'll talk about that. Usually that's the first thing that pops into my head, and all good. And then today became a crazy news day. And I was like, what? Usually I'm stretched on, what am I going to talk about today? I don't want to do news. My team very often pushes me to just do news stuff all the time. Do news. I don't want to do news. It's boring. I want to do something that's exciting and interesting, stuff that I enjoy, that kind of stuff. I want to do that usually. And then today, like, everything came. And I was like, I want to do 7 shows tonight, but I'm not going to do 7 shows tonight. Some of you would like me to. I'm not. We'll be doing a show for sure tomorrow night because there'll be more stuff, and probably Saturday too. Yes. I'll do an AMA on Saturday, so we can do that also. This is going to be interesting. All right. What did I want to bring up today? The thing I want to bring up is a couple things, and they all kind of meld together. And that is the feud now between Elon Musk and Trump and how it happened. Is it real or not? Some people are saying it's not real. Some people are saying it is real. The horrible attacks on each other, which of those are true and not. I'll bring those up also. And then what's next? What I mean by that is this going to affect, Trump? Is it going to affect Elon? And of course, most importantly, is it going to affect third parties, to include my favorite of them all, the Libertarian Party? Will it affect it, and how? Right? And this is just distraction against other things. People are already bringing this up. I know already. I will cover all that. But let me first kind of bring you up to speed with what's happening, and we'll chat about this. This part, I figured out which one should I bring up? Like, there's so many people talking about this, and most of them are insanely biased. And usually CNN is one of the most biased. However, for CNN, this is like gold for them. They're like, oh my God, the Republicans are fighting each other. So they actually love watching the fight. I kind of think in this specific case, they may be one of the fairest out there. I know, I'm actually saying CNN's fair. I mean, okay, that's probably a bridge too far. Mike Voss just threw up in again. Sorry, Mike, I didn't want you to throw up. I'm not saying CNN's fair. Okay, that's a joke. CNN may be one of the fairer ones in this one because they just love watching MAGA fight. And I get it. If I was CNN, I would too, right? I get where their heads are. It makes lots of sense. They actually might be one of the ones. Before I get there, Liberty Lady being awesome, immediately pops up with a super chat. Thank you for $2. And just like that, everyone forgot about Planeteer. Yes, that was one of my, you stole some of my thunder, Liberty Lady, but yes, that was one piece I was going to bring up. All of a sudden, that's not a thing, is it anymore? Now, all of a sudden, who cares, right? We got to worry about fighting these guys, and then who cares about them giving away all of our liberty? Doesn't matter, because remember, is always a bigger piece, right? Or maybe the fact that let's forget about the fact that we haven't been able to solve either of the wars. How about that one too? And all of a sudden, that's not an issue either. So, and just like that, we forgot about other things. So it may be distraction. We'll cover some of that coming up here. You stole some of thunder. But again, guys, if you want to go to the front, you can. Super chat is the way. I will be taking comments as I always do. But if you know it's going to be good, and you know it is, click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. If you don't do that, I don't know, you like fighting useless wars. That's your insult. If you don't click the like button, you like fighting useless wars. Why do you hate our troops? That's my question. Why do you hate our troops? Click the button that is known as like. Please do so if you would. If you haven't shared this or reposted this, you really hate our troops. I don't know why you do. They've done nothing to you. So don't be mean. Share and repost it. Oh, you don't want to share and repost it? You hate our troops. That's how it works. And if you do want to go to the front, you can super chat me if you want to on YouTube, or you can rant me on Rumble. Goes right to the front. If you want to show how much you love me, and I am very lovable, you can simply become a YouTube member. Click that join button on YouTube at $49 per month. Larry, that's a cup of coffee. It is, and I have one with me now because I had to have a quick dinner before I rushed in here. I heated up some sausages. I did because I am keto, because keto is magic. We have discussed this already. I had a little bit of sausage that I made and some coffee and some water. So I have both to stay hydrated so I can keep doing this. So I'm giving you coffee. I'm giving you caffeine right here. You don't have to go buy one. Just sit here and listen to my voice and I will get you all, pumped up and hyped multiple times a week. Sometimes 5 or 6 times a week. Come on now. You're getting it from me 5 or 6 times a week. That does sound pretty sexy, doesn't it? But it's not. I'm cheap, clearly. $49 per month is not that bad for that. Or you can do it on Rumble if you like. Or if you really love me, you can do it on both. If you're saying, Larry, I do love you, but not that much. You're not that great. Okay, you can go on Facebook if you want to and subscribe on Facebook. That's my $1.99. Come on now. I'm being good. I'm giving you lots of ways of supporting me. All right, I've been yapping away. Let me give you something that really matters, or if I can. This here is, I'm doing CNN. I know. Don't be mad at me. Trust me, it will be worth it. Some of you are mad at me. Don't be mad. It will be worth it. Here is the man himself, Jeff Tapper. We know that he is nothing but, good, right?
The relationship between President Donald J. Trump and billionaire Elon Musk has so rapidly disintegrated.
He's not wrong.
That Musk, without evidence, is now accusing President Trump of being in the as yet released Epstein files.
Now, I want to be clear on this. CNN is stressing just, alleged. That's CNN. They got a shot at just scolding Trump, and Jeff Tapper backed off. They're just happy there's a fight.
Tweeted this afternoon, quote, "Time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day, DJT." This claim, which CNN cannot confirm, of course, would imply that Trump was in some way name dropped in the...
Well, let's be clear about this piece, right? And this is the part where I think Elon can easily do this. There is literally no doubt, and I would bet anything on it with anything. There is no doubt that, of course, he's in the files. Of course he is. Why? Everybody who was hanging around him in the 90s was. The Clintons are in it. Everybody's in it. Does that mean he did something bad? No, it doesn't. Maybe he did. I don't know. Maybe Trump did. Who knows? There's zero evidence of that. I don't know if he did anything bad. Who knows? But there's no doubt he was in the files. Of course, he was hanging out with all the people in New York City. All of them. RFK Jr. is in the files. They're all in the files. So it's easy for Elon to say that. I think Elon was saying that, my view. I have no inside information on this one. I think it's very easy for Elon to say that because he knows it's true. He's in there somewhere. Of course he is. And of course, when he says that, he's not wrong, right? Again, do I know this? But do I know this? Do I have evidence of this? No. But do I know he's in? Of course he is. All of them are. So is Elon going to be proved wrong? Now, his name will be there. The question is, did he do anything? And Elon is making you assume that he did something. And again, maybe he did. No, but there is zero evidence that Trump did anything that he shouldn't have done. Maybe he did. No evidence of that at all. Will he be in the files? Of course. He hung out with Epstein too. They all did. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm saying it's true. They all did. There's pictures of all of them together. So yeah, it's a safe insult, right? There's no chance of Elon being sued by this. No chance of him being attacked by this. There's no live, nothing, because of course he's in the files, right? So you might go, wait a minute, Larry, he just accused Trump of something. No, he didn't. He allowed you to infer that. He allowed you to infer that. And people who hate Trump are absolutely going to infer that without question. And he knows that. So yeah, let me grab a couple comments real fast before I keep going. Let's see here. Let's see. Edgy femboy is saying that there's bigotry and anti-Semitism and phobia real here. I don't know what he's talking about. Edgy femboy, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're talking about. So I don't think any of that's here, but good luck with that. I don't know where if you have evidence of that, please show me, but you don't. But if you do, look, I will announce any insults against me. I announce them openly. I don't hide them. So please feel free if you want to. See, Wobbin Hood says keto is magic and intermittent fasting is magic too. I'm 42 and it keeps my body fat low. True. We've discussed this. Keto is magic. I've been on it for 15 years. It is magic. Yes. Bakchus Iran says Elon has forgotten who's the boss. He's so used to running his own companies. He forgot who's president. I would argue that's not exactly true. Here's what I think Elon feels. He feels betrayed. That's what he actually feels. Is this personal? I think to your point, yes, it is personal. Yes. But it's not because he's forgotten who the boss is. He feels betrayed. Doge has obviously not done what it was supposed to do. He did not get the support in Doge that he wanted. Doge is not included in the big, beautiful bill. None of that. His stuff is basically ignored. So because it's ignored, he feels betrayed. He didn't mind Trump being the boss as long as he got what he wanted. He didn't. Elon wanted his stuff done. He wanted to be a hero, right? Right now, if you look at the difference, look at how Trump is treating RFK Jr. versus Trump treating Elon. Trump's treating RFK Jr. like he's a hero. Look at him doing it. And RFK Jr. is getting attacked by everybody too. But Trump's like, RFK Jr. is awesome. Look at what he's doing. We're changing everything. I'm taking credit for his victories. Again, as Trump should. Trump brought him aboard. Absolutely true. But then Elon is like, well, whatevs. Elon is betrayed. That's what I think he is. He is betrayed. He wanted his stuff to be done better. It's not. He is betrayed. So, yes, there we go. Well, so I said keto. People jumped on board. Peace Logic says, I just hit 158 pounds on keto. I'm on my first 4-day fast. I'm on day 3. Feel great. I fast often. I do. I usually fast 2 days. At least once a month, I usually do. So yes, I'm a big fan of fasting. I'm with you. So excellent. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. All right, I gotta grab a couple more comments here if I could. And then I'll keep moving. I promise. I will keep moving. So yes. All righty. Let's see here. If I can go down here. Mike Voss is in the house. He says, feels like a desperate media is capitalizing on a negative story. Where did Elon find proof, if any? When did he know and not tell? Either way, he has no connection to end of Elon temp job. No. Okay, to be forward, as I said, there's no doubt he's in the files. He's not saying you are going with the point where most people are doing. They are inferring that Trump did something bad with Epstein and his people. Maybe you're right. There's no proof of that. I have no idea. But is he in the files? Mike, you know he is. In the 90s, they were all hanging out all together. All of them are. There's no doubt he's in the files. Now, did he do something? Again, I don't know. So is this connected to him being fired? Yeah, because he's pissed, because it's personal. That's why. It's personal. He's like, if you're going to mess with me, I'm going to mess with you. So yes. So anyway, that's what this is about. So that's why. So dangerous news. How are you? Bannon, if they bring up Palantir, just have Musk do a fake fight and bring up EpiPen. We'll make it all go away quick. I could see that. And that's my point. I think Liberty brought it up also. This could be distraction. It could be. We'll know in a couple of weeks. If there's all of a sudden a magical, I was just kidding, I've always loved you. If that happens, all distraction, right? If that happens. If not, it's really personal. I think it's not a distraction. My gut says not. My gut says Elon's really betrayed and he's pissed off. Look, this I do know. I've been around politics and politicians a lot, and people hardly ever believe me. Politics is petty. People often think, well, these people, they're up here and they're so smart and wise. Some of them are smart and wise. It's true. Most aren't. Most executives, mayors, governors, presidents, vice presidents, lieutenant governors, most, not all, most are pretty smart. Most of them are. They aren't always street smart, but most of them are pretty smart. Most of the assemblymen and congressmen, they're knuckleheads. At best, they're average, if not lower than average. They're front people, empty suits. Most of them are. And that makes you angry. I don't care. I know most of them. I know a lot of them. They're not that bright. They're average or lower. Most executives, some aren't, but many of them are very intelligent, very smart. That's why most of those go to executive branches if they're pretty bright. It's true, usually. Again, not always, but very often. So with that in mind, if they're trying to make distraction, they will. But they do, but usually it's just because they're pissed off at each other. They're just mad. Literally, they're mad. Laws are passed because someone's mad. Happens all the time. So I wish it wasn't true. Kim, thank you for being a member. Hey, this will be a very interesting show. Aren't they all, Kim? Well, maybe not all of them. Aren't most of them, Kim? Most of them are. Let me keep going.
Case surrounding Jeffrey Epstein, the notorious and convicted pedophile who died by suicide in prison in 2019 while awaiting his federal sex trafficking trial.
True.
The accusation from Musk is about as nasty as it gets, accusing somebody of being a pedophile and then covering it up. Mr. Musk did not detail how he would know
He didn't.
what was or what
he doesn't.
was not inside any unreleased file.
He, again, as I said, he's saying it because he knows they all hung out together. I'm saying it too. I know he's in the files. But again, that doesn't mean anything bad. And he's actually not saying that. He is allowing you to infer that. And the people who hate Trump are going to infer that all day long. All day long. Kim was on to say, I think it's more fake. Remember me saying the MAGA party. This could be the birth of it. Maybe. As I told many of you, the Republican Party is having a problem that I've been speaking about for a long time. It is a combination of four different groups together trying to stay in a big tent party. The Republican Party hasn't been a big tent party. It's also filled with working class voters, and it hasn't been a working class party. But all of a sudden now it's filled with that. So you've got your America Firsters or MAGA. You've got your neocons, right? Or your, I guess, conservative Republicans, or maybe not conservative, maybe your more traditional Republicans, your George Bush Republicans, like those types, right? The neocon types, Mark Rubio, Thune, those guys, right? Lindsey Graham, those types, right? And of course, you've got the Maha group and your tech bros. Tech bros are gone. When Elon walks, tech bros will walk. How do I know? Peter Schiff's already walking too. Thiel will walk too. They're all going to walk. The problem is, where did they go? This is your point, Kim. Where did they go? This is why Elon Musk said, is it time for a third party? That's why he said it. Because you walk away. You can't go back to Democrats. You can't. That's not realistic. What are you going to do? Andrew Yang was like, I'm here. Yeah, but Andrew Yang, look, I know Yang. I like him. He's actually a good guy who wants to help. But when he jumped on the Harris train last year, I mean, people look at him as just Democrat light. Brother, if you're watching, I love you. I'm just saying, people see you as Democrat light. You got to make a shift somehow hard. If you want to make this thing work, you got to shift somehow hard. And maybe he will. I hope he will. Because I do think he wants to help. And I know some of you guys don't like Yang. I do. I think he's actually trying to help. But PR is PR. That's how it works. PR is PR. So, yes. All right, let me keep going if I could.
Filings related to Epstein, assuming there are unreleased files related to Epstein. CNN's reached out to the White House for a response. We have not got one yet. Musk also knows that for years, conservatives and right-wing figures have suggested that the U.S. government is hiding secrets, bipartisan secrets, Democrats and Republicans, relating to Jeffrey Epstein. And these supporters of Mr. Trump have long been...
And that's why you have this... That is why... Look, whatever you think of Elon Musk, he's not stupid. You can think whatever you want. If you think he's stupid, you're just mad. It's clear he's not stupid. That's clear. He knew this is exactly the insult that would get press, that would spark all this stuff. He knew exactly the right thing to do, and this was it. I mean, it was perfect, right? Again, I'm not saying Trump did anything wrong. I don't know if he did. He might have, he might not have. I don't know. This is a very simple, easy way to get all the news he wants, and well done.
Clamoring for the government to release more of the files. Mm-hmm. Trump, who was friends with Epstein decades
There we go.
ago.
There we go. I said in the 90s. They were all buddies. So that's why I know he's in the files. They were buds. Again, and many other people too. I'm sure he's in the files. That's why it's a safe attack.
Decades ago, talked on the campaign trail about potentially releasing more files on Epstein. We need to back up for a moment, though, and explain how we got to this particular friendship graveyard, given that just 6 days ago,
I like that,
when Elon Musk left his role as an advisor to the president and head of the Department of Government Efficiency, or DOGE, President Trump gave Musk the key to the White House, the ceremonial golden key. Mr. Trump may now be changing the locks as this feud today essentially.
But I'm going to tell you something I think with Trump. I think Trump's actually bothered by this. I do. I think Trump also feels betrayed by this. I know Elon does. I can tell. Elon feels betrayed. That's why he did the attacks. That's why he said what he said. That's why he did it. But Trump also feels betrayed. If you watch what he said, he said, like, you know, you said good things to me. What happened? He went crazy. He feels betrayed too. That's why I think if this is fake, Kim, if you're right and this is fake, they're going to have to make good like within a month. Otherwise, this is going to be hard. Now, to be forward, Trump is one of the most transactional presidents we've ever had. Would he turn this around? Yes. If Elon Musk came back saying, sorry, I was kidding, blah, 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 would he take him back? I think Trump would. Would Elon? He's got to be desperate. He's got to be desperate. That's the issue. Yes. Lunatic, thank you for the $2. I'm laughing my derriere off. Trump eliminating subsidies on Elon. That's coming up. Guys, take my thunder. That is coming up true, yes. So they start fighting back and forth, and now Trump's like, well, I'll take all your subsidies away. Then what? How about that? But Lunatic, here's the problem. What does Elon do if he does that? For those of you who think, well, Elon's finished, his companies are getting trashed. Elon's not finished. Let's be very clear, he's not. Did he take a beating? Yes. I mean, he's got a black eye right now. He took a beating. No question he did. Is he finished? Not even close. Why? Because what Elon Musk actually is a private equity firm. That's what he actually is. And people know that usually what he picks wins. He has losers, but he usually gets when you invest in what he invests in, you usually get paid back. Often it's from a government grift. He's very good at grifting, but still true. You often get paid back. So if he says, oh, do this next thing, this AI tech or this whatever car tech or whatever he says, people will put their money and he'll make his money back. He's not finished. He took a beating. That's true, but he's not finished. The problem is right now with the subsidies is a lot of his money comes from government grift. I would argue he's probably the best government grifter that I can think of. I mean, there may be a better one, but I can't think of a better one. He's very good at that. He'll grift that local, grift off New York State, put no solar plants in New York State, took the money and ran. He's very good at grifting. So losing these subsidies is a big deal. I agree. However, it doesn't finish him. Now, the worry I have, Lunatic, is does Elon say, oh, you don't want to help me, President Trump? Well, I'll go to China or I'll go to Russia and I'll have them help me. That is my only concern. Now, would Elon do that? I don't know. Would he threaten it? Yes. Elon is that petty. Would he threaten it? Yes. He would absolutely threaten, I'll just, we'll take SpaceX to China or whatever, or Russia or whatever is the appropriate, I don't know India's got a space race. So does Japan. Japan has a space race also. So any of these places that have a space program, I'll take it to Japan. I'll take it to India. I'll take it to China, whatever. I'll take it to there and then we'll do it. I'll take it to the EU or whatever. Would he threaten it? Yes. That'd be my concern that he'd do that. And then that happens and we change our minds and because American pride or something. I could definitely see that piece. So yeah. Ryan says, oh, $5. Thank you, Ryan. I could see Trump doing a 1 hour press conference just solely attacking Elon. Okay. Yes and no. Let me give you yes and no. He won't do it for that reason, but he'll just go off on his, what's he called it again? Not the riff. I forgot what he calls it. When he goes off and starts talking about stuff, whatever he calls that thing, he'll go on that thing he does and he'll just start attacking Elon for like 20 minutes or something. But it'll be like, let's do a press conference on, I don't know, the budget, whatever. Let's do a press conference on Iraq and Iran or something, whatever. It'll be on that. Then it'll go, by the way, let me attack Elon for 20 minutes. That's what he'll do, right? So I don't think he'll do a press conference on that. I think he'll just interrupt his own press conference for it. That seems to make most sense. So yeah. Phil, becoming a member. Thank you, my friend. Phil, awesome. 5 months for membership. I appreciate it, guys. Become a member if you can. I appreciate it. Phil says, in this, the beginning of the fiscal conservatives versus, is this the beginning of the fiscal conservatives versus populists? Yeah. I expected 3 more years and a Vivek Vance showdown. Musk needs to build a political org. That's the problem, right? This is the problem, Phil. Where are the fiscal conservatives? No. I wish that were the case. This is between neocons and populists. This is between tech bros and populists. It isn't that Elon Musk actually cares about the physical health of a country. He does, but for the wrong reason. He cares because if we start throwing all this money at things like Medicaid, Medicare, well, where's his money for SpaceX and the Mars mission? That's why he cares. I don't mean to be cruel about this. I'm just being very forward, right? So if he starts doing that, well, then how do I get my SpaceX thing going? How do I do my government grift, right? He's like, I'm not giving that money away because that's my money. So yeah, but not just that. If he could have actually cut government, the amount of popularity he would have gained to gain more actually private money would have blown up. So he wouldn't have needed as much because he would have got it from the private sector without question if he had actually done this effectively. So yeah. So there may still be a Vivek Vance showdown. That's still possible. But if that were true, at least in talk, they're both fiscal conservatives. Are they in practice? So far, that hasn't been a thing. I hope it is a thing. I can hope for it, but so far it hasn't been a thing. They do talk that way. Now, Vivek, if he wins the governorship of Ohio, if that happens, he will have several years to be that fiscal conservative that he says, right? If he wins it, he can do it. And hopefully he'll show us that he really is that libertarian-like person that he says he is. He says he's libertarian adjacent. He doesn't say he's libertarian. But maybe he is. I hope he is. If he's a governor, maybe he will show that. In which case, Vance would still run. If Vance wins, then he'll stay for 8 years. Vivek comes in after he's the governor of Ohio. If Vance loses, Vivek runs right afterwards. So I don't think, assuming Vivek wins governorship, if he does, there's no Vance-Vivek showdown. Vivek stays as governor of Ohio for at least one round, if not two. So anyway, he says Musk needs to build a political organization. True. And you're taking away my thunder again, guys. I'm going to cover that in a second. I'm almost there. I'm going to cover that piece too. I will cover that piece also. I'm looking over at Rumble. Rumble rant from Peace Logic. Thank you for the $1, my friend. All the cool boys and girls are on Rumble with Larry. She's not wrong. And you get to the front of the line for just $1. Also true. And way more characters. We want to reach 500 subscribers. Let's make a huge dent today. Guys, you went ahead with Rumble. I appreciate that. Peace just gifted out 5 subscriptions. So if you want to do five memberships, he has gifted 5 of them over in Rumble. Head over to Rumble and grab one if you can. That's awesome. Thank you for that, brother. I appreciate it tremendously. So, all right, let me grab a couple more of these if I could.
Escalated publicly in real time.
I'm almost there.
While in the Oval Office with the German Chancellor this morning, a reporter asked.
Yeah, everybody forgot what the Germans said. Nobody knows what the Germans could have said anything. They could have said, and we'll be invading Poland next week. And they're like, well, I don't care. What about Musk? Nobody cared. Nobody cared what the Germans said.
President Trump about Musk recently viciously criticizing the so-called One Big Beautiful Bill. Elon had been calling on Congress to, quote, kill the bill.
Yep.
Saying it adds too much to the deficit. So here's what President Trump first said today.
All right, I'm going to bring it up. Dangerous News says, Massey and March 2028. Okay. Phil said, is this, a chance for fiscal conservatives? These are the only 2 that are there, just those 2. So if that was a ticket, I'm in. Like if that's a ticket, I'm in. Done and done. So yes to that ticket, but I'm not sure that's a ticket, is what I'm saying. But yes, if that were a ticket, of course I'm in with that. Yes. Phil, thank you for $2. Elon gets autistic about an existential crisis. Yes. Not wrong, but some people call him autistic man bad. I like space man bad. That's bad.
About Elon's bill bashing just before noon Eastern time.
I've always liked Elon, and it's always very surprised. I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill because the bill.
See, I think that he was actually bothered by this. This bothered Trump. He didn't like it.
Is incredible.
So the president went on to talk about other subjects. And, be careful what you ask for when he says, I'd rather have him criticize me than the bill. The president went on to talk about other subjects, eventually doing the proverbial weave.
The weave, that's what it is. Sorry, the weave.
Of Elon Musk. So this was at around 12:06 p.m. Eastern.
I'm very disappointed because Elon knew the inner workings of this bill better than almost anybody sitting here. Better than you people. He knew everything about it. He had no problem with it.
You can hear it. He's bothered by this. So I think Elon is absolutely insulted and betrayed, and so is Trump. I think this is personal. That's what I think. Kim says, I put nothing past Trump. Look, Kim, that's a valid point. I don't think so. We'll see. I don't think so. John says, Bobby Kennedy got out in front of it early and admitted he had been in contact with Jeffrey Epstein. That was a smart move. What Bobby Kennedy has done well is the second anybody says, you might have, he goes, here's what I did. Here's what I did. He said he was on the plane. He said it's all out. Yes. And that's a smart move. I say this all the time. The cover-up is always worse than the crime, whatever your crime is. If you did, just say it. Just get it out. It'll be bad, but it'll get over. And it was bad when he first said it. And you remember, I remember it too. And then it went away because he went, this is what happened. I'm saying, and now if the files come out and the files match what Bobby Kennedy Jr. said, he's good. He said, I went in the plane twice. This is what I went with my boom. And if that's what he said, it fits, he's golden. Totally golden. If I were Trump right now, I might do the same thing. Just saying, I might, unless he knows he's not going to. There is a chance that they will never come out. There's a chance that if someone lets it out, that person is going to have an accident and assume room temperature. So if that happens, if that's true, and I'm worried it might be true, it may never come out. In which case, Trump's like, I don't say anything. It's never going to come out. But I don't know. If I was in those files, I'd be telling people right now, this is what I did, how it happened, whatever. I'm not in those files, so I can say that. But if I was, I'm with you, John. That's the best way. Just get it out. If you did it, you did it. Move on.
All of a sudden he had a problem, and he only developed the problem when he found out that we're going to have to cut the EV mandate.
The EV mandate, the electric vehicle mandate, obviously Mr. Musk owns Tesla, which is a premier electric vehicle company. But it turns out Mr. Musk, Elon Musk, was watching that, and he didn't let that one go unanswered. 13 minutes after President Trump said that, Musk posted, quote, whatever, keep the EV solar incentive cuts in the bill, even though no oil and gas subsidies are touched. Very unfair, but ditch the mountain of disgusting pork in the bill. In the entire history of civilization, there has never been legislation that both big and beautiful. Everyone knows this. Either you get a big and ugly bill or a slim and beautiful bill. Slim and beautiful is the way.
Now, the part that bothers me on this, which I love what he's saying. This is great stuff. Keep saying it. Keep going. The part that I love about this is that this is the kind of stuff that we libertarians have been saying forever. And I love when it gets out. I do. I love when it gets out. He asked about a third party. He did, because he thought maybe that's the way of going, right? Let's change this. It's bad, whatever. Two-person doesn't work. No one's reporting that. I don't see that. I looked. I spent 45 minutes searching for some outlet to be mentioning that he talked about the third party. And it could be Libertarian Party. No one's talking about that.
Unquote. As President Trump continued taking questions at the White House, Elon Musk.
Oh, this went away. Did it come back? Did it come back? Hold on.
Repost at 12:25 p.m. The very clip where Trump says Musk only had a problem with the bill after he found out about cutting the electric vehicle mandates. And Musk writes, quote, false. This bill was never shown to me once and was passed in the dead of night so fast that almost no one in Congress could even read it, unquote.
There we go.
Shortly after that, 12:46 p.m. Eastern, is when a doctor might have officially called the time of death on the Trump-Musk.
They are loving it. Can you see how CNN's look, I get it. They're CNN. I get it. This makes them feel really good. I get it, which is why I picked them, because they're going to cover both sides, because for them, this is just everyone dying is good. All the blood on both sides is great. They're like, yeah, let's explain all the blood. So
relationship, call it. Musk posted on his X platform, quote, without me, Trump would have lost the election. Dems would control the House and the Republicans would be 51-49 in the Senate. Such ingratitude, unquote. Hitting Trump where it hurts in the Electoral College there.
And to be forward, again, Musk is hitting Trump where he's bothered, right? I mean, this is, many of you have didn't believe that. I'll go out and talk to people and they'll say things like, Larry, it isn't like that. It's this, and this guy's playing 4D chess and you don't understand all that. I'm like, no, it's just two men with big egos getting mad at each other. That's all it is. Don't think it's bigger and 4D chess and that. It's none of that shit's true. It's just not. This is two men pissed off at each other who have big egos. I wish it was something else. It's not. That's what it is.
And the rage posting, Musk even tagged Donald Trump, saying, remember this? Showing a video of when Musk essentially turned the White House South Lawn into a car dealership. And he gave Trump a Tesla, that red Tesla, which is still, according to our White House correspondent, Kristen Holmes, still parked in the White House parking lot. The gloves were off.
Yes.
12:37 p.m. Eastern, President Trump takes to his own platform, Truth Social, not X, not Twitter, saying, quote, Elon was wearing thin. I asked him to leave.
So now he didn't break up with me. I broke up with him. See that? He didn't break up with me. I broke up with him. Yes.
I took away his electric vehicle mandate that forced everyone to buy electric cars that nobody else wanted, that he knew for months I was going to do. And he just went crazy.
So he says crazy more than once. Remember the last time that Trump said crazy? It was Putin. When Trump is, whether you like him or not, he is insanely transparent. When things are going well, you're the greatest guy in the world. When things are going poorly, you're terrible and you're crazy. He's that transparent. This is why, Kim, I think this is not false. You might be right. I think this is real.
Unquote. And within the same minute, Trump fired off another post saying, quote, the easiest way to save money in our budget, billions and billions of dollars, is to terminate Elon's governmental subsidies and contracts. I was always surprised that Biden didn't do it, unquote.
Now, why would he say that and do that? Because he's pissed. Because he's pissed off. That's the reason. He's pissed. This is two men with big egos hurt, mad at each other, and striking out. I know you think it's something else. It's not. Ryan says, Larry hates America's team, a.k.a. St. Louis Cardinals. I don't hate the Cardinals. That's incorrect. I just know that America's actual team is the glorious New York Yankees. Just to make sure we're clear on that, right? So, and I love my New York Yankees, regardless of who is the coach, regardless of who the players are, regardless of how they do. They are the greatest team ever. One more time, 27 championships. No one else can touch that. So just being clear on the best team, it is indeed the New York Yankees by default. Just to be clear, I don't hate the Cardinals. I don't at all. Hate the Red Sox. There's a difference. Both red, but one's a bird, one is footwear. Okay.
Oof. That blow, of course, hitting Elon where it hurts.
Yep.
In his wallet. Especially given the Tesla chip plummeted down 14.
And that point's true also. Tesla is taking a butt whipping. That's true. And Elon is getting hit. That's true. But he's not finished. Don't let people tell you Elon's done. You see that stuff on YouTube all the time. The end of Elon. He's broken. Tesla's finished. It's not true. It is a whipping. That's accurate. He's getting his butt kicked. True. He's not finished. Elon is a private equity firm. That's what he is. And he will be able to shift. And he's still a gazillionaire. So he's not a double gazillionaire. He's half a gazillionaire. So he's not finished. It is a butt whipping. He is feeling it, but he's not done.
15.3% as this battle heated up. The sell-off wiped about $150 billion off the market value of Tesla. And then about 30 minutes later, there it was, Musk dropping that major unfounded accusation about Trump being in the Epstein files.
There we go.
The insults are still flying back and forth. Elon posting on X, quote, the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. I mean, lots going on.
Well, I have never liked the tariffs. They are a massive gamble. I hope they work, but I don't think they will. But look, I hope I'm wrong. I hope they work. I've always been worried about these tariffs. I never liked them. And Elon's actually saying it openly. Yeah, I'm with this one. I'm with Elon on this one. I don't like it at all. I never liked the tariff stuff. I never did. So Freedom Before Democracy says, can Mr. Musk coalesce the electorate around the idea of limiting deficit, reducing the debt? So far, no one's been able to. And the reason why is, and be very for why, there hasn't been an obvious, clear reason or benefit that the American people can see, right? That's the issue. There hasn't been an obvious, do it because this, do it so we can get that. That has not worked. And if we make that happen, perhaps. But to be forward, a lot of people that no one's reporting on are saying, hey, there is a party that talks about that already, Freedom Before Democracy, and that party is Libertarian Party. That party already exists. That party has some kind of affiliate in all 50 states. Doesn't have ballot access in all 50 states, but does have an affiliate in every state. Does have that. Has an infrastructure, broken in many ways, but does exist. So you can either take and work with the broken infrastructure that exists and in all 50 states, or you can try to bring out your own party, which is a whole lot harder. But there are other parties that are working on it, right? To be forward, Yang's Forward Party, to be forward, does exist in a couple of states, has some infrastructure, has some money. So that's another one you could try if you wanted to. I don't think Forward talks about deficit reduction and reduction of debt. Forward spends most of its time talking about election reform, which also is important, utterly important. I completely agree with that part of the Forward Party's platform. I'm on board 100% with that. Election reform is important. That's a great part. But also We the People Party, also about election reform, right? So there's three parties out there that could take Elon Musk in. The Green Party probably can't. The Green Party does have some infrastructure also, but the Green Party and Elon Musk just don't coalesce at all. I don't see that happening. Constitution Party, maybe. I think that's a stretch because Constitution Party is very conservative and Elon is not. So I don't think the Constitution Party could take Elon. I mean, that'd be another party to try. I don't think the Green Party can take him because the Green Party is all about socialism now, and he's not. So I don't think that would work. So it would have to be either We the People, Forward, or Libertarians, or try to build something again out of nowhere. But if you're talking about deficit and debt, that is Libertarian Party all the way. No other party is even thinking about that. 100%. Yes. John says, intermittent fasting, gym 3 to 5 days a week. Don't drink your calories. Lost 68 pounds of unnecessary body fat. Keto I may try for a year, but will be incredibly challenging. It is. Intermittent fasting is awesome. It is. And if you, this is way off topic, but to be clear, if you want to lose weight and you drink a lot of sugary drinks, John is correct. Just stop drinking sugary drinks. Just stop that and you will lose weight. It may take a longer time, but if you just stop drinking your calories, you will see an increase, a decrease in your weight, guaranteed. If you're looking to lose weight, absolutely. So yeah, 100%. That is a great thing. I do appreciate that. Yes. MWK Knox says Trump is in the files that have already been released. There we go. Yeah, I didn't know that, but yeah, I believe that. It's 100%. Yes, 100%. Dave says, will the Republican Party apologize for spreading the rumor that Epstein didn't unalive himself? Never. And I think there's probably a thing here, which is he actually might have, to be forward with you, Dave, he might have, but he might have been both encouraged and allowed to, if that makes any sense. So it might have been do it or we'll do it. Like, do it now and we'll turn our backs and we'll shut the cameras off, right? It could be that. So to be forward, technically, maybe he did do that, technically, but not the way we think. It's possible. That's what I'm saying, because then they would be telling the truth. That makes any sense. He did that. We, of course, gave him all the stuff, told him to do it, shut the cameras off, and said, if you don't, we're going to do X, Y, Z to you and your family. Oh, okay, fine. Yeah, I'll do it. It could be that. That wouldn't surprise me, because then technically they would be correct. They would not be lying, if that makes any sense. So that's my idea. Missy says still CNN. I know, Missy. Missy's mad at me for doing CNN. I know. Yes. Anyway. All right. Let me keep going down here again. K. John says, just another routine jingling of the keys to distract us babies while they jab at us again and again and again. It's possible. Ryan says it's a psyop. No one believes it. All right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I've been fooled. It's possible I've been fooled. This looks real to me. It's possible I've been fooled. If we come back, if a month from now they're buddies, then I'm wrong. It does happen. I am 99% of the time right. As a consultant, that's how I make my money. If you bet on me, you will sometimes lose that bet. It's true. But overall, you will win. You will make far more money betting on me than not betting on me. That's what I know for sure. That's how I raised a family in New York City for years, not having a job for 20 years. If you bet on me, you will usually win. But sometimes you lose. It does happen. But just the more you bet on me, the more money you make, even though you will sometimes lose. I think I'm right on this one. We'll find out. We will find out. I hope that I'm right, because it will be much better, right, than if I'm wrong and it's just another distraction thing. So yeah. So Phil goes on to say he's gonna need an independent campaign consultant. True. He may need to give me a call. A lot of people did. Dangerous News says Yang and Forward should stick to changing the rules and keep away from partisan politics. That's my view too. I agree with you. Yes, I agree with you. Yeah, I'm with you 100%. And it's a good way to be. It's what their party could be about, and people get on board with it, right? And they wouldn't care about the specific issues. It's just like, hey, here's how we change the rules and make elections fairer, better, whatever. I completely agree. Yes, I completely agree. That would be a better way of going about things. Sure.
And I don't even know what's happened in the last 7 minutes since I've been talking to you.
True.
Let's talk to our panel. Scott Jennings, first of all, does Trump, who gets
Scott is very funny here. I did see this piece before. Yes.
you in the divorce, Trump or Elon?
Okay. He says, who gets you in divorce? CNN's loving this. They're like, gosh, look at Bagala. Big ass smile. This guy's like, yeah, Republicans fighting. Yeah, he'd love it. That's why I went with CNN, because I knew they would just show everything. I knew they would, because they love this. They're like, whoa, both sides fighting. They can't get enough of this. So, but Jennings doesn't like it. And he says, who gets you in divorce? That's the assumption. When Elon breaks away, right, the Democrats assume, because they always do, that these are all terrible, evil Republican young men who hate women. That's what they believe. And they're all going to rush and leave with Elon. No, Elon only takes tech bros. That's who he takes. MAGA people still love Trump. They don't all of a sudden hate Trump because Elon leaves. If you're an America Firster, you still love Trump, right? You will abandon Elon. Now, you might feel bad about it. You might want Elon to stay. I could see that if you're an America Firster. I definitely could see that. You'd rather have him with you than against you or walking away. But if you're an America Firster, if you're a MAGA person, you're with Trump. And you're not, yeah. And this guy he's a MAGA guy. So I'm sure already, he's upset Elon's leaving, but he's with Trump. And if you're a MAGA guy, of course you are. And it makes total sense. And this is what I'm saying. If libertarians want to take on Trump, and some libertarians, the silly ones, don't want Elon to join us. Why? He's not bringing MAGA people that you hate. He's not bringing America First that you hate. He's not. He's bringing tech bros. If you don't like them, what's wrong with you? They have lots and lots of money. But Larry, why would you want, all that money? So I can win an election. That'd be the reason why. Yes. Elon Musk gave, $250 million for that campaign? You give me $250 million, I will change this country in 4 years. And I said that with no hyperbole. I said with no joke. You give me $250 million, I will change this country's culture and politics in 4 years. Utter change. You give me $250 million. That's why. But Larry, he's a libertarian. I do not care. I do not care at all. You give me 2.5 million. 1% of that. 2.5 million, I'll be governor of New York next year. And I say that with no hyperbole. I would bet my life on that. Let me say it again. I would bet my life on that. 1% of that amount of money, I'm governor of New York next year. That's how serious I am. That's how much I know. So that's why I'm saying, Elon, if you're listening, if you're watching, brother, come with open arms. I'm here. Come on my show. I will find you the people. I will find you. Come on. I got you. 100%. I do not care. All you people who are like, well, he's not libertarian. Don't care. Do you want to be able to run in every state? $250 million does that. We will have ballot access in every single state. You can run in every single state. He can max support every state affiliate, every county affiliate, and the national party. Think about that. Max funding every county affiliate in America. Max funding every state affiliate in America. The Libertarian Party becomes a real party overnight. And if you don't like that he's not libertarian enough, then fix your local party, and your local party can be libertarian enough. Or your state party can be libertarian enough. With all that cash, you can be as libertarian as you want to be. See how that works? So yes, absolutely. Just want to make sure we're clear on that piece. We could actually do that. So that's where I stand. And a lot of people do also. Missy says Elon's a man-child, a brilliant man-child. True. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yes. So JG says, apparently Trump already talked to the feds about Epstein in the aughts. Oh, I didn't know that. Is that true? Makes sense. Look, they were all in it. Like, they were all part of that. I get it. They were all part of that. 100%. They were all part of that. So, all right. Let me see if I can go down here. Garrett says, salute to my fellow Yankee fans. Member for 3 months. See? Garrett knows. Oh, and to prove it, take that. Cardinals fans. Garrett throws up 20 Sharpe Way memberships. You are the man, Garrett. Thank you so much. Showing that the Yankees are indeed America's team. See, that's proof right there. The market has spoken, St. Louis Cardinal fans. I'm not mad at St. Louis. I'm not. I happen to like the city. I was there, 20 years ago, maybe? I was in St. Louis before. I like the city. I'm not mad. East St. Louis is rough. Well, at least was back then. I don't know if it still is, but it was. It was rough. But I'm just saying, I was there. I'm not against St. Louis. I like the Cardinals even. I do. Even when I was a football team. I didn't mind. Just saying, Yankees are America's team. And Garrett proves that, as the market is always right. And the market has decided this. Yes, I'm libertarian. So I'm just saying, it does make me correct by default. That's all. Just saying, the market has made me correct. So just so we're fair on that one. So yes. All righty. So I do appreciate that tremendously. Maybe walk through a little bit more of these if I could.
Let me just tell you what every Republican is doing. I have here's where we are today. We're literally, heads are in the garbage can.
He's not wrong. And why is he not wrong? I'm gonna be clear about this. For those of you who are saying, who cares, those of you Republicans who are watching saying, who cares about Elon? Elon Musk was someone who was prepared to openly write checks to primary people. That isn't very, very common. Lots of Republicans will give money. That's true. AIPAC will give money, right? They will give money. But he would openly support people like that. That was one thing they've lost. They have others, don't get me wrong, but losing one of those sucks. And so they lost one of those, and that's not a good thing. They would like to have as many of those as they can get. So I get that. But next thing, they might have lost Twitter. That's the other worry. And Republicans are doing very well on Twitter. Very well, growing on Twitter, right? Very well. So they might have lost Twitter. And I'm not saying that's going to happen, but that's their worry, right? That's why some Republicans are upset. It's not good losing Elon, even though, good, look, Jennings is going to stay with Trump. I get it. But it's not good losing Elon. And Republicans who know what's up, know it's not a good thing. It will be better if they could keep him, if you're a Republican. I totally get that at all. Not just that. Some Republicans are saying, well, it's okay, because now Elon can go to DeSantis. No. For those of you who like DeSantis, that's not a thing, okay? DeSantis is a terrible candidate, number one. That's number one, terrible candidate. And number two, DeSantis is basically a modified neocon. That's what he is, a modified neocon. And he doesn't like neocons. Neocons don't like Elon, right? Elon doesn't like neocons. Neocons don't like Elon. So that's not going to happen. There's no way he goes behind DeSantis. That's not what happens, right? That's not going to happen. Elon is talking about a third party because Elon knows that's the only place he can go now. That's all he can go. So maybe him and RFK Jr. make the Maha, whatever, I don't know, make America skinny again. There we go. The Masa, make America. Oh, that sounds terrible. Don't do that one. Scratch that. Forget I said that. Next.
Right now, that's the state of everybody I know at the moment. Not gonna lie, it's an ugly day, and you hate it when your friends are fighting. I continue to believe that their partnership last year saved America, and I also continue to believe their goals.
Well, let's be clear about that. The part of what he said is true. Now, what Elon's saying, Trump wouldn't have won without him. I'm not sure that's true, right? I'm not sure. But what Trump or his team, I think it was Trump, but it might have been his team, but I think it was Trump. What Trump did very well last year, again, whether you like him or not, this is just simply demonstrably true, is him putting together that unity ticket, that ticket of, Elon Musk, RFK Jr., Tulsi Gabbard. I mean, that is what got him the total victory. And that is what got him control of the Senate. That is what got him all those things, right? Might he have won the election without him? Maybe. He must have won the election. But he would have never gotten this massive. He had a mandate. Still kind of has one still to this day. If you look right now, the Democrats are so hated. Some other people I was going to bring up, but I'll just bring it up now. The Democrats are so hated now to this day that people still trust Trump. Americans still trust Trump more than Democrats on the economy. with the tariff problems. The Democrats are so untrustworthy and hated by men so much that Trump, they would still, we'll just trust Trump. We don't care. We just trust Trump because we hate Democrats. So yeah, I'm not saying Trump would have won the election. He might have still won the election. But this part, Jennings, is correct. Without that coalition, he does not get the mandate that he has. The coalition was a brilliant move by him, and it did give him the coalition.
They're not mutually exclusive.
I'm sorry.
Trump needs to pass his agenda, which this bill is his agenda. It's what he ran on.
He's also not wrong there either. Trump isn't lying. Trump said tariffs. I hated it, but he did say it, and he did do it. So that part's correct. He did say he wanted to do the tax cuts. He did say that, and he's doing it. And whether I agree with them or not doesn't actually matter. Politicians, once elected, should do what they say. If I don't like it, then I should work to change the system. But I really do think that should happen. And to give Trump credit, he is doing what he said. You may not like that. Doesn't matter. He's doing what he said. We'll grab a couple more of this if I can. Over here on Rumble, can we get Elon to donate to Larry Sharpe, New York's governor campaign? Ooh, I like that idea. Yes, I like that. My wheels are turning. Get back at Trump. If Larry becomes governor, it will be the spark that lights the torch of liberty across USA. True. You are right, Peace. Thank you for the dollar, my friend. I completely agree. All right. We got to start tweeting at Elon then, guys. Start tweeting at Elon to support Larry Sharpe. That's your homework. Tweet at Elon Musk to support Larry Sharpe as a libertarian in New York State. That's the answer. Tweet at Elon Musk to support Larry Sharpe as a libertarian in New York State. Peace is correct. We do that. He gives me the $2.5 million. I'm the governor of New York State next year. It sparks everything, changes everything. I'm not joking. I get $2.5 million next year. I'm the governor of New York next year. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. There will be no stopping me. None. I raised $500,000 and they sued me off the ballot. $2.5 million? Forget about it. Crazy. So yes, you are correct. I agree with that. My VA lady says I would bet on Larry. Thank you. Yes, absolutely yes. Peace Logic goes on and says on X I started reposting within X from Larry's X account. Internal reposts are better, but do you think it would be better if we use Rumble link instead, which is preferred for traction? I do think X is probably better for traction, but of course, if you want to grab Rumble, please grab Rumble, guys. Of course, whatever's going to work is what I would say. Whatever is going to work. That's it. So yes, I hope that part is clear. So yes. All righty. Grab a couple of these here. Mike Voss, back from his walk, says Tapper's being tame and soft because the credibility was destroyed by his book and 180 on Biden's mental capabilities. Only reason CNN's being calm. I don't think CNN's being. I think they're just enjoying it, man. I mean, it's not like if this was like Trump against, I don't know, Bernie or Trump against Cuomo or Trump against Mamdani. I think it'd be more aggressive because they've got to beat up on Trump, right? They've got to say how bad he is and blah, blah. They don't have to. This is Republican crime. They don't care. They're like, good. They're actually being straighter than normal because it's all good for them. They're watching the bloodbath. They don't care. So I think the opposite. But you're right. Tapper got beat up, but Tapper's making a killing, dude. He's making a killing. Everyone's talking about his book. People are buying his book. It's true. I mean, he's a seller. But yeah, oh my God. Is it Karine Jean-Pierre? She's now an independent now. Did you hear that BS? She has another book called Independent. Like anyone thinks she's independent. She's another grifter. The Biden people, this I got to give them, Mike. I got to give them this. I mean, no shame. Just none. Just no. There's a part of me that goes, wow. Like, wow. No shame. Yeah, I defended Biden to death, and now to hell with Biden. And I always hated him, and I was always going to stop whatever. No, you weren't. And I didn't know anything until just now. You were with him every day. And now you figured it out? Yeah. No, zero shame. And the thing is, they know that there's a bunch of people, particularly those who are either current Democrats or former Democrats, that are broken and hurt right now. And they really want something to make them feel better. And these books do, Mike. They make the Democrats feel better. So they buy them and they read them and they go, see, oh yeah, okay, I feel better. Remember, most people don't want to actually be better. They just want to feel better. And these books do that. So that's why they buy them. That's why they buy them. So, all right, grab a couple more of these. Ray from nowhere. Thank you for the $5. What if this is all orchestrated to get a couple of Team Blue voters for BBB? 40 chests are a deal. It could be, right? Don't get me wrong. It could be. To Kim's point, I wouldn't put anything past Trump. Trump also is not stupid. People say he's stupid. He's not. He's not stupid. It's not a thing. He's not stupid. He may not be this awesome genius he calls himself. That's possible. He's not stupid. People say that because they're mad at him, don't like him, so they call him stupid. But he's not stupid. That's not a real thing. But is he playing 40 chess? I don't know, because Trump is petty. And he would say so, right? He is petty. So is it possible it's 40 chess? Yeah, but I don't think so. I think it's two angry people who both feel betrayed. Elon Musk feels betrayed by Trump, so he struck back, and now Trump feels betrayed by Elon. That's what I think's happening. And if it is true, and Kim's with you, she thinks you're right, Ray, or you think she's right, whichever, we'll know in a month or so. If all of a sudden they're buddies again, and I was just kidding, then yeah, then absolutely, of course. But I don't think so. I don't. Ryan says, never underestimate the Democrats to mess this up. Yes, that's true. You can see it already. You saw I did a show today about how they're going to try to get men. And I was like, stop trying to get men. There's another show I could do on that one. There's another show I want to do. I was talking about that. There are now a bunch of Democrats who are openly saying, no, we don't want men. I'm not joking. I wish that were not true, but it is. But they're agreeing with me. You remember my show, Ryan? You were there. I said the other day, I said, Democrats, don't bother trying to get men. You can't. You don't have the infrastructure for it. You don't have the culture for it. Remember they brought that queer woman? She's the one who's going to figure out how to get all the men. Remember that's been laughed off the internet. But that was the best they could do. And now Democrats are openly saying, we don't want any men. Who needs them? They're openly saying it now. So, to your point, never underestimate the Democrats to mess this up. Yeah. They'll start gaslighting, virtue signaling, along with turning off middle America. True. But they are good at that. That's one of their skill sets. That's true. So, yeah, I'm with you on that 100%. Thank you for the $5, my friend. All right, I'm going to keep going down here if I can.
Elon wants to save America from going bankrupt, which they can also do if the Republicans in Congress and everybody works together. All of these things can happen. When fights get personal, though, it means the enemy is advancing. And
you see that? Fights get personal. I think he knows what I know.
in this case, it means the Democrats are laughing and advancing. So hopefully cooler heads will soon prevail and the president can get his agenda and Elon can convince the Republicans that the debt is a serious problem. But not going to lie, rough day for the Republicans.
It's true. And again, not the end of the world. But that's why they're loud. Look how happy they are. CNN, they're all happy. Yay, Republicans are getting their butt kicked. And look, this is not good for Republicans. Because again, losing Elon Musk is not great. It isn't great. Right? It's not going to end the Republican Party. So if you hate Republicans, don't get up like, oh, it's over for Trump. None of that's true. None of that's true. All I'm saying is, this is a bad day for them. So Billy John says, Sharpe, just stop it. You like pointing at me. Look at you pointing at me. Elon knows more than you. Trump is in the Epstein files. Elon, how do you know Elon knows more than I do? And I didn't say Trump wasn't. I literally said Trump is. What's funny is you will hear people like Billy John. Billy John, I'm glad you're back, by the way. Stay, please. You will hear people like Billy John often assume that I'm saying things that I'm not saying. If you remember if you paid attention at all, Billy John, what I actually said was, I know he is in. The question is, did he do something bad? I don't know if he did. He might have. I didn't say he didn't. I don't know what Trump did with Epstein. I have no idea. He may have done nothing bad at all. He may just go on his plane and flat around like RFK said he did. Maybe. And maybe he did some bad stuff. I have no idea. Maybe Elon does know more than me. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. But here's what I do know. Me and Elon both know that in the 90s, they all hung out together. So I know he's in the Epstein files. So does Elon. I just don't know what he did or didn't do. So I know you're just mad because you want me to insult Trump, which I do sometimes. But I insult Trump when it's appropriate, and I don't when I'm not. Billy John goes, "I'm gonna stop being a Trump apologist." Yeah, you just want me to virtue signal and go Trump bad, Orange Man bad. Sometimes I say Orange Man bad because sometimes he is. So yeah. Any case, that's all good. Yeah, Phil says it. Yeah, Larry Sharpe said that. I did, but Billy wants me to virtue signal. I hope you see this more I hope you see this more, this show more as me not just jumping on one side or the other. I hope you see it that way. I do. If you don't, I get it, but I hope you do. So anyway, let's just keep going down here. Let me keep going. All right. Patty says, it's like an East Coast rapper dissing a West Coast rapper. It's rich people rap battle. Not a bad idea. I like that. Yes, I do like that. Yes. Mike says, this is a soap opera in political theater, but not newsworthy. Dude, they're the same thing. What are you talking about? They're the same thing. Cable news is literally political soap opera, political theater. Literally. That's every day. Okay, if you're talking hardcore news, like should the AP be reporting it? Maybe not. But this is cable news every day, dude. This is what they do. I mean, this is where they have 4 people on the thing so they can do this. This is what they do. You get guarantee there's going to be like a bunch of YouTubers talking about this, and yep, of course, yeah, this is the norm. Absolutely. Space Jason is over on Rumble. He says, 1, Elon fights like a woman with daggers, and B, Tim Walz is currently having uncontrollable convulsions. Ouch. Ouch. You're probably true though. Probably right on all those things. So yeah, let me grab a couple more of these if I can. Woben Hood says over on Instagram, I support anyone who learns to balance the budget. Yes. Secure the border and love America. Only one side is that right now. What side would that be? I do not see the Republicans balancing the budget at all. Securing the border? Yeah. True. Love America? Depends upon the person. Balance the budget? No. That's not a thing. Nobody does that. That's not a thing. Yeah, that's not a thing. I wish it was a thing. It's not a thing. The border, I'll give them. The Republicans take care of the border. I'll give them that 100%. Republicans took care of the border. Absolutely, yes, they took care of the border. I give them that. But the rest, I don't know. User has been banned, says wrong, Brooklyn Dodgers. You know, all right. Brooklyn Dodgers, right? Brooklyn Dodgers were America's team, right? Jackie Robinson, but then they packed up and betrayed New York and went to LA. So yes, but that's all I'm gonna say. Yes, but there we go. That's all I'm saying. Yes, but Linda says, talking to John Morrissey, surely if Trump were involved with the EpiPen, the Democrats already had charges against Trump. This is probably more that Democrat politicians are involved. Yeah, this is my point, Linda. I think all of these guys are in that list somewhere doing stuff. So my concern is it never comes out because there's so much bad stuff there that if it ever did come out, if anyone put it out, as I said earlier, they're going to have an accident and that's the end. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Ryan says, Cardinals at a Jedi and the Yankees have said, have you been to a Yankee game? If you've been to a Yankee game, literally, they use the Jedi music when they show the Yankees on the screen. I'm not joking. They use the Jedi music when they show the Yankees on the screen. Yankees are the Jedis, my friend. That's how it works. That's how it works. Just saying, you guys don't like Yankees. I'm just saying. It's true. That's it. All right, we're almost out of here. Let me grab this. And then last
Griffin, Elon Musk retweeted a post from someone, and this post said, President versus Elon, who wins? My money's on Elon. Trump should be impeached, and J.D. Vance should replace him.
Now, again, Musk is being petty. To Space Jason's point, Elon's fighting like with daggers. It's true. He is. Elon is being super petty. Trump's petty too. But again, as Missy said, Elon's kind of a man-child. True. Absolutely true. He's being petty, but he spent time with Trump. So what does he know? He knows how to stab him. He's doing it right here. This is pissing him off. He's trying to make individual people start thinking, yeah, I'd rather have JD. He wants that. He's trying to make that happen. And this is going to bother Trump. Trump is bothered by this. He is. You might think Trump's tougher than, no, Trump is petty like they all are. Big egos very often tend to be weak egos. Not always, but very common.
Elon Musk reposted that and wrote, yes. So now it is the official position of Elon Musk, presumably, that Trump should be impeached and J.D. Vance should replace him.
Mike, do you see what I'm talking about? They're loving it. They're eating it up. They're eating this up.
Your thoughts?
I mean, listen, I've had bad breakups, but this is wild. Listen, Elon's had a lot of attacks he's launched today. Of course, you brought up the claiming that Donald Trump is in the Epstein files, saying that he's going to cause a recession in the next quarter. And then, of course, this. But I will say the attack that I think is actually going to stick the most with President Trump is him essentially calling him a lame duck president. He's saying he's going to be here for 3.5 years. I'm here for 40 years. That is what Donald Trump is afraid of. If this bill...
I got to tell you, Elon is definitely, without question, Elon knows how to piss off Trump. That's why I'm saying he's actually annoyed. He's annoyed. He's betrayed, and that's why he's doing it. And the other thing is, there's the second piece of this. There is a chance that Elon Musk is worried about his actual legacy, that he's been beaten up so badly by being on a Trump train, and he thinks the economy is gonna go down. This is possible. I don't know this to be true, but it could be possible. And he's like, so I got to get off the train fast, and I got to basically act like I have TDS, which is what Trump said. Trump said he's got TDS. Here's the thing about TDS. As nutty as it seems, and Mike Voss hates TDS, but he knows what I'm about to say is true. TDS is a unifier. Like, if you have it and someone else has it, like your buddies, it's a unifier. You hate him? Every other word out of your mouth is how bad Trump is? Me too. Like, that's a unifier. So it is possible that he's like, I'll just do the TDS thing, and then some of the people who hated me will come back and buy my EVs. Maybe. Now, that's a bit of a stretch, but it is unifier, and it could be true. I wouldn't put it past him is all I'm saying. I would not put it past him. There may be a way that he may be thinking that way. It's possible. So, yeah. All right, I'm going to grab a couple more of these if I can. Let me see here. Phil, thank you for $2. Trade the Dodgers for the Mets. LA, New York City swap. Okay. You really can't. I mean, the Mets stands for the Metropolitans. It's really about New York. The Mets have New York City colors. People don't know that, but it is. New York City's colors are blue and orange. Blue from the Brits, but orange from the Dutch. That's why we have those two colors, right? Our New York City's colors are blue and orange. Our flag is blue, white, orange. And the Mets have that's why New York Islanders have that also, right? The Yankees are just black and white because they're the Yankees. And the Rangers and the Knicks are red, white, and blue, right? But the orange is, of course, for no Knicks. I'm sorry. Also, yeah, same thing. Yeah, red and orange, blue and orange, which is New York colors. So they can't go. You can't. Just bring the Dodgers back. We'll just take 3 teams. We can take it. Take 3 teams. Totally fine. No, Mets got to stay. And I don't hate the Mets. The Yankees are great, but the Mets are a New York team. And they're a new team. Mets came out in what, 69, 68? I forgot. No, 67? 60s, whatever it was. I forgot when they came out. No. Sorry. Mets won in 69. Came out in like 64, something like that. Oh, no, I don't know. Let me figure this out. Hold on. When did the New York Mets start? Hold on. 60 something, right? I know it's a 60. 62. There we go. 69 is when they won. 62. There we go. So they're a relatively a new team. So yeah, Yankees been around forever. So Yankees were around with Jesus. Jesus was a Yankee fan. In case you didn't know that, Jesus was a Yankee fan. That's how old the Yankees are. He was a Yankee fan. So therefore, if you don't like the Yankees, you don't like Jesus. Okay? That's I'm just saying it. Just okay? Just accept that as true. That's how it works. That's all. Liberty Lady, thank you for the $5. I'm okay with Musk coming to the LP as long as he leaves his red-blue baggage at the door like I did when I came to the Big Tent party of the LP. Don't turn the LP into GOP light. Look, the reality of it is, if he wants to do that, if Musk comes over and says, I want it to be GOP light, first off, Musk used to be a Democrat anyway. So Musk wouldn't want it to be GOP light. If he came over, he wanted to be Democrat light, if he wanted anything, because he's a former Democrat. So I don't think we have to worry about it being GOP light. If anything, Democrat light, if anything, if that. So he would come over, and you and I both know that the insane, crazy people in our party would never allow him to make our party Democrat light. There would be never, no matter how much money he had. If we cared about money and power, we wouldn't be libertarians. So never would happen. So what would happen is either he changed it a little bit. That's possible. Could he change the culture a bit? Of course, he could. So he could absolutely do that. So if he made that shift at all to that, and he couldn't go as far as he wanted, he would just leave. As many libertarians or former libertarians do. They come, they didn't take over the party, they can't, then they leave. Happens all the time. How many times have we seen this already? Literally, lady, we've seen it already. Last couple of years, we've seen it a couple of times. They come, then they take over the party, they can't, they leave. Okay, he'll leave. But if he would drop off, like you want him to drop off his baggage at the door, drop off his $250 million in the party. Drop that off, take off, no worries. If he drops that cash off, let him come in and try. I don't mind at all. We have been through so much garbage with people trying to take over our party, wrecking our party, starting civil wars, all those things, and they don't leave any money. You want to come by and beat us up like they all do, and then leave us $250 million? Deal. If I got to fight a civil war and get my ass kicked again, but I get $250 million to do it, done and done. I'm in. That's all I'm saying. Okay, thank you for the $5. Only need Tesla, buy or sells. Can Larry, Ye, and Matt Gaetz mediate? All right. I don't own any Tesla. I don't. I probably should buy some now because it's going to go back up eventually if he doesn't go to China first. So we'll go up. Remember, one of the things that Tesla is skill set is not just the cars, right? This is why I keep saying he's a private equity firm. People think no one's buying his cars. He's going to lose all his money. No, he's not. He's got AI tech in there. He's got auto driving tech in there, all kind of tech. He'll just license that tech out to some other company, right? So he'll take the tech, and people like Tesla, he'll license the tech out to Ford or to, I don't know, whatever. He'll license the tech out to Maserati, whatever company wants it. And he'll make money on that. So he's not going to all of a sudden not have any money. Again, is this an ass whipping for him? It is, but he's not finished. He has all that technology he can sell and license out to the people. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. So yes. Can Larry Ye and Matt Gaetz mediate? Matt Gaetz is probably not a good mediator. Ye is insane. But he's sad. That's true. I mean, Ye is sad. Ye wants them all together. He does. I'm not making that up. Ye actually wants those two guys together. He does. So that's true. But he's not a good mediator because he's insane. I would be happy to mediate if they want me. 100%. It's what I do for a living. I'm happy to walk in and have those conversations. However, I'd rather Elon Musk just come to us and bring your money. To Liberty's point, leave your baggage, bring your checkbook. Those two. Ryan, give me $2, says cable news is literally S talking their rivals. True. And loving it. You can see it. They can't stop smiling. They can't stop smiling. Like, yeah, this is like a great day for them, right? I'm sitting there saying, how come I can't get people to the Libertarian Party? And they're like, life is good. They're loving it all day long. So yes, they're loving it all day long. Good for them, I guess, right? I guess good for them, but maybe not good for the rest of us. So, all right, we keep going. We're almost done.
Bill doesn't get over the threshold and end up passing. It's his entire legislative agenda. The midterms are just a couple.
Yes, this point, she's right in the money, right? Trump is worried. He's worried because he does need to get his agenda passed. He does, right? If Mike Voss brought us up the other day, he was like, everything's being slowed down now. That fast-paced stuff is kind of gone. The system is starting to slow Trump down. That's true. It doesn't mean it's over. I want to be clear. It does not mean it's over, but it's definitely slower. Mike is correct. You can see this being slower already. This is one of the reasons why Trump is so bothered by this. He's personally offended by what Elon did, and Elon's being petty. There's no doubt he's being petty, right? It's true. He is. And he's trying to bug Trump, and it's working. He doesn't like it. But there's a second piece. If Trump doesn't get this bill passed, what does he get passed? What can he say worked? What can he say failed? They're going to blame him for everything. And he may not care because he's still president. But if things go poorly and the Republicans get trashed in 2026, now again, at this moment, I don't think that's true right now. Right now, I know people are saying, and this is where I think Mike Voss may be wrong on this one. And Voss Mike knows Republicans very well, so he's often right on this. But he said that he thinks it's over for 2026. I don't think yet. I think there's still a chance. And the reason is people right now do not like Democrats. I mean, Americans. Americans don't like Democrats right now. Democrats are in a bad spot and have not figured out how to fix themselves yet. That's the issue. The question now becomes what happens in this next year or so. Can Democrats get themselves to a better spot? If they can do that, and Trump doesn't get anything done, I think Mike is correct. Republicans are trash in 2026. I mean, they're going to get their ass kicked. But if Trump can pull this out somehow and Democrats don't get their act together, I think Republicans can still do well in 2026. I think it's up in the air. I'm not ready to make a prediction yet. I'm just not. I think it's still up in the air. I can see it either way. So yes. P says, now the left knows Elon's not the president. Yes. And this goes back to the thing I've been saying about. Thank you for that, Peace. I'm glad you brought this up. I say all the time how it's always just talk, it's insults. Remember? Elon's the president and the co-president, blah, blah, blah. None of that was ever true. That was always just more insults. Remember, the left dismisses. It was just dismissiveness, dismissing Trump, dismissive Elon. It was all dismissive. That was the entire thing. So, and this is perfect example that wasn't true. That was Democratic talking points. None of it was true. And yeah, that's how it works. I completely agree. It was just Democratic talking points. Absolutely.
Couple miles ahead, and he's realizing like this is the most damaging thing at this moment that could be happening. And for members of Congress on Capitol Hill, the conversations that they're having, the ones Scott's avoiding right now, are, listen, if you're up in these midterms, you really don't want to get crosswise with Elon Musk, who's willing to spend basically endlessly in your district if you support this bill.
This is true. This point's valid point. She's right. This is what I'm saying. It's not good to lose Elon now. Again, it's not like Republicans don't have other donors. They do. But you just lost a big one, right? And you don't want to lose big donors, particularly if now if Elon just walks away, okay, bad, but not the end of the world. But what if Elon starts getting petty and says, everybody that supported Trump, I'm going to now, fight, whatever. That's when I get a pain in the ass. Because now you got Republicans spending money against Elon in their own primaries where they could be spending against Democrats. That's what they're worried about. They're going to hope that Elon just walks away. But she's right. If Elon decides to fight, yeah, it's a problem.
Now, if you're somebody who's not up this cycle, you might wait it out. You might say, I'm not going to get on the bad side of Donald Trump right now and be with him. But there's like actual conversations countless members of Congress are having right now about where to be on Donald Trump's signature legislative item because of this rift.
That's exactly right. She's correct, right? I don't want to be mean, but she's correct. She's at a valid point. All right. The piece I want to bring up now is, if I could, is, of course, the things that I think are kind of interesting here, which is, if I can get them, hold on. This is, okay. This is Elon Musk saying, is it time to create a new political party in America that actually represents 80% in the middle? And when he posts that, one of the people who responds to that is, of course, I'll pop this up right now if I could, Angela McArdle, who was our former chair. And she responds, you should just take over the Libertarian Party. It's not hard. Peter Schiff says, hold on. Peter says, we don't need a new party in the middle. The Republicans, Democrats are not that far apart anyway. Just join the Libertarian Party. It already exists. Maybe we can actually help get some of them into Congress. Yes, or into the governorship of New York, Peter. Okay, maybe that also there. Libertarian Party responds. Thank you, Peter. Yes. Steve Nikela, the current chair, same thing. Don't need to build a new party from scratch. There's already one that believes in free markets, limited government, innovation. Yep, already there. Chase Oliver, our last president candidate, says, support the LP National if you want physical sanity and limited government. Yeah, they're all saying the same thing. Support the Libertarian Party. Yeah. So it's funny, all over X, they're all talking about supporting the Libertarian Party. Were they saying that in the mainstream media? Oh, wait, they're not. At all. At all. They're not. So should that happen? Yes. Look, here's what I'll say. You should support Elon. If any people who know Elon are listening or watching Elon, if you happen to be watching, I hope you are. It's X, maybe you're watching. Who knows? If you are, it is important that you realize something. Walk away from Democrats, Republicans. Walk away. Walk away from Democrats, Republicans. Walk away. I would like you to come to the Libertarian Party. But if you want to go to the Forward Party or to the We the People Party, I would take it. It's still better than the Democrats, Republicans. But I would like you to come to us. Why? I'm biased. I'm libertarian, and I may be running soon. I didn't say I am. I might be running soon, maybe. But I may be running soon. So, boy, wouldn't it be nice if I had a little bit of Elon on my side? A little bit of Elon helping me get my name out there. We might actually be able to win something. Someone actually wants to balance the budget and fix things and end all this horrible taxation. Just saying, that's where I would go if I were you. I'm not saying you will or won't. I'm saying that's where I would go if I were you. I think that is a very good idea. That's all I'm saying. I would keep that piece. So, all right, let me grab a couple of these comments if I could. Let's see here. So many of these, I appreciate that. All right, John says, Larry, your Sunday show should be titled City Sunday, and should be coverage of the city mayoral race debates. You know, I was thinking about doing a show on the debates. They showed a lot. So, yeah, they showed a lot. I got to think about that. Maybe I will. So, all righty. Rick, thank you for being a member. As long as, hold on, per my number one pet axiom, Libertarian Party is represented through LPNH. It is not a valid third party. National LP needs to come down hard on rogue affiliates. Pet axiom number: people tend to judge groups of which they are outside by their worst examples. 1A, people view groups that are intersectional of the same group. That's true and not true. Let me explain the difference between the two. All right. When something is considered the norm or the biggest or strongest, it is not judged that way. Democrats are not judged by their worst. Republicans are not judged by their worst. They aren't. They're judged by the mainstream. Anything outside of the norm is judged by its worst. I'll give you an example in sales. When you go to respond to an RFP is a request for proposal. When you go ready to respond to one of those, I would say the same thing. There are two types of companies that get accepted to a large organization. One, the cheapest. Two, the most popular. Those are the two. Why? The cheapest is if the individual, they are personally involved in decision making, meaning my money is going out. It's a smaller company. It's my money. I care what's cheap. If it's not personal, meaning it's a large organization and there's a buying group, it's always the most popular. Why? If I go with UPS or FedEx and they screw up, it's not my fault, boss. Rick's the boss. Rick, look, UPS and FedEx, they screwed up. You go, yeah, they're screwed up. Why did they screw up? Yeah, but I don't do that. I go with Ryan's delivery service, and Ryan screws up. Rick goes, Larry, what the hell did you pick Ryan for? Can't believe you picked him. Now it's my fault, right? So I'm judged poorly because Ryan's the small guy. So Ryan gets judged as being terrible for screwing up. But if FedEx screws up, well, it was one of a bazillion. Same thing when it comes to big parties. Democrats aren't, judged by their worst ones. Republicans aren't judged by their worst ones, right? Senator Byrd was a Democrat, member of the Triple K. They're not judged by that. Republicans had David Duke. They're not judged by that. So no, they're not. It's not how that works. Just to be clear. For us, that's true. You're right. For the big ones, it isn't. So yeah. All right, let's see if I can get here. Riot Sticker says, Musk must get the left back on his side. Then they can do whatever they want. Think about it. If Musk stayed left and said he wanted to do Doge, the left's all about it. Just examples of why PSYOPs work. I'm not wrong. I don't think you're wrong. Yeah. Yes. So Michael's on to say, it's funny that the best news day for CNN is not substantive. True. With Tapper hobbled. Tapper's not hobbled, dude. He's not hobbled. It's not true. It says a lot about major media. The right is yelling at Tapper. The left isn't. I mean, they are, but not. They take him right back. Yeah, he's not hobbled. The people who hate Tapper already hate him. But he's still got a show. He's fine. Still got a show. I mean, his show did poorly, but he's going to come right back. And he's selling his book. He'll be fine. So, yeah. Becky says, no, America First is the offshoot of MAGA. MAGA people are waking up to see Trump for the bankrupt-prone liar he is. You think so? No, America First is the offshoot of MAGA. MAGA people are waking up to see Trump for the bankrupt. So you think, I've heard this before, Becky. I've heard people say that MAGA is now bigger than Trump. I'm skeptical is what I'll say. I'm unsure of that. I still feel like right now, MAGA and America First are the same. That's how I feel. Look, I'm not a Republican, so I could be wrong on this. But my gut says they're still kind of the same. I mean, there's a little bit of a difference, but they're kind of the same. And I kind of feel where MAGA goes, America First goes. That's how I feel. But I could be wrong. For me, I'd have to see MAGA people walk away from Trump. And while there have been some individuals, I have seen that. But overall, I have not seen that being true. I haven't seen that piece, right? I haven't seen it. If you look at people like Steve Bannon as an example, Steve Bannon has gone against Trump on certain things. Steve Bannon hates, Elon Musk. So he's obviously glad that Elon Musk is gone, right? Didn't he call for him to be deported? So yeah, I think he's happy. But Elon Musk still supports Trump. Even though he disagrees with him, he still supports Trump. The reality of the America First movement and the MAGA movement at the moment don't have any of the champions. In theory, Vivek could be, in theory, JD Vance could be, in theory, but currently, no. I don't think that's there yet, but we'll see. All righty. Kim says, I could stand with MAGA, but I really don't like Trump. Interpretation just gags me. I think you're following with Becky in that. I agree with the concept, right? But there has to be someone who's going to be the new MAGA person or America First person. Is that Vivek? Is that JD Vance? I mean, it could be. Is it now? Unless I'm missing something. It's not Bannon. It can't be Bannon. So it's got to be someone who's running and someone to do that. I think it could be. In theory, I could see it. So yes. JG says there may be some MAGA libertarians. Austin Peterson. True. But he's mad at Trump too. He hates it. Austin hates the tariffs. He's been hates it. So Bilbo Flappers is over on Rumble, and he says the worst Democrat is Bernie. Bernie's popular though. He's popular. I said he is very popular. So you may think he's the worst because I don't know. Democrats don't think that. Democrats think he's pretty popular. So Bilbo goes, I support Elon, not Republicans. Okay. There we go. I think a lot of people would agree with that. I think that's not, I think it's true. So yes, I think that's also true. So, all righty. Phil says, Larry's betting his life. I see a reality show. Let's do it. I run for office and then you follow behind me and it's a reality show as I run. I love it. Yes, absolutely. I agree. 100%. All righty. Let's see if I can get down here for a couple more. Let's see. Ryan says, Phil, the Cardinals are the house that's of Stan Musial, Bob Gibson, Ozzie Smith, Albert. Is it Pujols? Yes. Tradition with class. Look, I'm not anti-Cardinals. You guys are like, I don't like Cardinals. I'm not anti-Cardinals. I'm just saying Yankees are the team. That's all I'm saying. It doesn't mean the Cardinals are bad or I'm against them. I like the Cardinals. I'm not against them. I like St. Louis. Not against them. I'm just saying Yankees are better. So yes, Phil knows it. Yankees Empire Strikes Back. There we go. I'm saying it. That's all I'm saying. Kim says East St. Louis is bad still. Okay, see, I knew it was. I haven't been to St. Louis in many years. I know it was a tough spot to be in. So there we go. It's still tough. There we go. Yep. I appreciate that. Robert says, joined in and we're talking about baseball. Go Stros, baby. We did look. The glory of this show is that it's live. That's the glory, right? You don't see me just like do a show, tape it, and put it up there, right? It's live. I actually talk and I chat with everyone here. I take criticism. I take questions, whatever. We go back and forth. And if you notice in the chat, we go back and forth in the chat too. Even there's conversations I'm not even part of in the chat. That's what makes this show interesting, right? Can you find another live show like this that talks about what we're talking about? And it takes all comers. I don't insult people who disagree with me. I still stay with them. We go back and forth. I do think it matters. So yes. So let's see here. Russell says, Larry, you're betraying your community in Queens by not being a Mets fan. Shame to shame, lol. That's that. Okay. Yeah. Look, I am in Queens. Russell is correct. I am in Queens, but I was raised in the Bronx. I was actually raised, I'm not joking, across the street from Yankee Stadium in the 70s when it was, give my age away, when the Red Sox-Yankee rivalry was huge. Carl Yastrzemski, Carlton Fisk, Bucky Dent, Mickey Rivers. Those of you who know. I remember when Thurman Munson passed. Those of you who know. And that was when we were there, right? In Billy Martin, those days, back in the day. So those of you who know that's actually true. So I will always be a Yankee fan. Back in the day when they had Bat Day, Helmet Day, all those days, I had all of them. I had all the things, all the days that were special. They had to give away. I went to all of it. I had a tote bag, the whole deal for years. So I will never not be a Yankee fan. I grew up on it as a kid. Those you don't know, back in the day when I was a kid, you could go to the bleachers for $1.50. So my father would give me $5 in the morning and say, I don't want to see you until dinner. And I would leave early. And as I would leave, get out there and leave, right, as I would go to outside the Yankee Stadium by 10 a.m. 10 a.m. is when all the players would show up. They drive to a special parking lot. I don't know if this still exists. This is back in the 70s. They drive to a parking lot and they all walk into the stadium. and we'd sit there, me and my boys, and we get autographs. I had every single autograph of all the New York Yankees in 1975, 1976. I had all of them, every one of them, every one of the players, every one of them on the roster. I had all of them, and my mom threw them all out, thinking it was all garbage when I went to the Marine Corps. I had all of them. Yes, all gone. But because I would show up at 10 o'clock every day, every Saturday, Sunday, they had home games, get all the signatures, right? And then after that, after you sit there, you could then go watch practice. The game will be at 1, so it'd be practice at 11 and practice at 12. You go in early, you'd watch one team play at 11, and the next team play at 12. Practice, you watch the practice, and then the game would start at 1. And if I had buck for to get in, I had $5. I had money for the next game too, so I could do both games. $3. Had $2 left over. I could buy candy. Come on now. I'm a 7-year-old, 8-year-old, 9-year-old. I get to go to 2 baseball games, all day watch baseball, see all my stars, and eat candy. Come on. What a great day. At breakfast, candy, dinner. Life is good. So yes, how can I not be a Yankee fan? Impossible. That's all I'm saying. I can't not be one. That's it. Yes. Americua says, we had a moment of silence at dinner when Thurman Munson passed. Yes, for those you know, he passed in an airplane crash. So yes, he was the catcher and team captain of the New York Yankees in the 70s. So yes. Phil says, can we agree that the Red Sox are horrible? Yes, we can. Yes, indeed, we can. Thank you for that. We can. Yep. There we go. So John says, Scott Jennings doesn't care about those two. He's part of the neocon camp. He is kind of a neocon. He is, but he does. He also, though, he's very much, he wants Republicans to win. That's it. Yes. Yeah. He wants Republicans to win. So yes, in any case. All righty. The Liberty says, DeSantis loves to pass speech laws in favor of one certain type of people. True. He is neocon. He's neocon light. He's neocon light. That's true. Keishan says, MASA took me a sec. No, I got it right away, Keishan. I got it right away. We're not doing that one. We're not doing that one. We are out of that immediately. I got right out of that. Done and done. Kate says, must finish his service. That's true. He did. But he didn't have to go out swinging like that. I get why he did it, though, because he's petty and upset. Indonesia America says, this tantrum is bad only for Musk. Libertarians that vote for lower taxes and increased liberties will still support Trump's doctrines once the tariff confusion is settled. I hope that the tariff confusion is settled, Indonesia. I am worried that it will not be. I am concerned. Trump has bitten off a lot. I get why. I probably done the same thing if I was him. Well, maybe not. I wouldn't have made so many promises when it comes to international. But as I didn't. But he's bitten off a lot. He's gambling. I've been saying it forever. If Trump's gambles pay off, and we'll know by the end of the year if they do or not. If they pay off, he is going to be seen as a great president if they all pay off, right? If they do. If they don't, they're going to be like, the thing that I worry about is if none of them pay off, and if he does fail at these things, are we going to want to go back to establishing Democrats? Is that going to be our, is the pendulum going to swing till we go back to establishing Democrats? Is that going to be the answer? Back to the establishment and establishment Republicans? Is that what we do? I hope not, right? So, and most libertarians, I don't think voted for Trump. Most libertarians I see voted Libertarian, but a big chunk voted for Trump. It's true. A big chunk, probably about 500,000 voted for Trump is my guess in that area. And about 500,000 voted for Libertarians, so about 50-50. Some voted for Harris. Some Libertarians were so scared of Trump, they voted for Harris. So some voted for Harris. About 500,000 voted for Trump. About 500,000 voted for Chase. So yeah, I think it was a mix. So there we go. Shelly says, I would love to see Larry and Elon talk. All right, I got to get him talking. I'm see if I can grab him. I'm going to be at Freedom Fest next week. And a bunch of heavy hitters will be there at Freedom Fest. I'll be doing some work for Freedom Fest next week. There'll be no shows from Wednesday through Saturday because I will be in Palm Springs at Freedom Fest during that time, and I'll be doing all of that stuff. So yes, DeSantis is not neocon. He wielded power like no bushwhack Mitt Romney or John McCain had any something to do when they were trusted with higher office. DeSantis faced Disney and survived. He's neocon light, dude. He is. He's neocon light. You saw what he actually wants to be doing. He does not mind using the force of government when it suits him. Like he said, oh, my people? Okay, we can do it. So he's kind of neocon light. That's my gut. So yeah. All right, I'm gonna keep going if I can. All righty. Phil says, thank you for $2. Elon seems like a quick study with polling analysis. Yes, Elon's smart. He does get it. But that's what I'm saying. What he's doing, it may be true. Yes. Matt, thank you for $2. Larry, make that pitch to Elon a short one. I think, a short, yes. Not a bad idea. I'll have my team look at that. That's a good idea, Matt. I like that. Thank you for $2. I appreciate it. K-John says, I was at the 78 World Series with Epic. I was too. I actually went to that one, K-John. We could have seen each other. I was at the game. Was it game one? Was it game one? I forgot which one it was. When Willie Randolph hit a home run to win the game. If you remember that, I still remember that as a kid. That was epic for me when that's the World Series game. Yes, Willie Randolph hit a home run, and when I think it was game one of the 78 series, but it might have been game three. I think it was game one. Yes, I was there too. We could have seen each other. Wouldn't even know. It's possible we were together. Possible. I was upper level though. My family was absolutely not wealthy, living in the South Bronx. So my father got tickets. It's going to sound weird. How did my father get tickets? All right. It's because of Mets, believe it or not. My father was a DJ, part-time. That's how we made extra money so we could move. My father had extra jobs for my mom. My mom used to clean offices and clean houses, and my dad was a DJ on the weekends. This is during disco time in the 70s. And that's how we made extra money so we had to move out of the Bronx onto Long Island when I was a teenager. So he was a DJ at a club that was owned by one of the Mets who was on a 69 team that had won the World Series. So that guy who had won the World Series was a very popular and well-known in the Major League Baseball and would get tickets to like the World Series and all kind of great stuff. So because he loved my dad was a great DJ there, he gave my dad tickets. And that's how I got it. We couldn't afford them. That's how I got tickets. So it's kind of weird. So the Mets actually helped me out. So how can I hate the Mets? The Mets helped me get World Series tickets in 1978. So of course, I'm not going to hate the Mets. I just like Yankees better. That's all. Yeah. All righty. Michael says, how about I write Barron Trump when you have live? Please, Michael. Please. Yes, that would be amazing. Please. Absolutely. That would be amazing. Please do that. Yes. All righty. Let me see if I can get down here a couple more. So many of these guys. I appreciate this. All righty. Indonesia says the Republican Party should not fear growth of a Libertarian Party, and rhinos can rise Democrats. The problem you have with that is you're talking about the Republicans as individuals versus Republicans as the establishment. Individual Republicans probably don't care as long as they get what they want, right? Individual Republicans don't actually care about the establishment. Establishment Republicans don't care about individual Republicans. Establishment says we want to retain our power and our grifting ability. They don't care about the average Republican. So they'll do whatever it takes to make that happen. So I will divvy those up. Republicans, individual voters, should not fear the growth of the Libertarian Party. I agree. They should allow it to be happy, all good. They can then vote Libertarian when they want to, in any given pace. When they have a bad Republican, they can go Libertarian and piss the terrible Republican off so they can get better Republicans. I completely agree. But the establishment can't have that, because then the establishment can't run who they want to run when they want to run. The grifting goes away. That's the issue. The grifting goes away, and they don't want that. So that is why I say the difference between those two. Kim says, I heard today Karine is independent now. I know. Karine Jean-Pierre has become an independent, supposedly. Come on. Yeah, that's an embarrassment. Tapper's book, Mike, is bad. Karine's book is insanely terrible. I can't believe that. Yeah, I mean, just absolutely terrible. No way. Yes. All right, let me keep going down here. All righty. Let's see here. Oh, PR says Jean-Pierre is trying to save face. Not everyone knows she lied every day to national press. True. You're right. She's an embarrassment. She's terrible at her job and terrible at as a person. She's just bad, period. She's a bad person and a liar and bad at her job. Just bad. She's terrible. I would never buy her book, but people will. Mike, people will buy her book to feel better about themselves. They'll read it. They'll find some way of going, oh, okay, now I feel better about myself, so I'm glad I bought this book. That's why they'll buy it. So remember Twittergate when she got caught managing the POTUS count? Yes. Nothing but bad. Yes. I agree completely. Yeah. All right. Andrea says, aren't we all a little petty? Andrea, let me grab hers. Yeah. You're not wrong, Andrea. Here's what I will say. I try very hard to not be petty. That's what I say. I try to not be petty. but I am sometimes petty. It's true. I try. People who know me know that. I try. Missy knows me very well. She knows I try to not be petty. But she also knows sometimes I'm petty. I try not to be because I know it's not good. You are, yeah, I would rather not be. It's not a good thing, but I'm just human. I am. Barbara over on Instagram says, my dad played on a Yankee farm team. He met Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth. That is amazing. That's amazing. That's great. I remember when I was a kid, I wrote letters to a bunch of the Yankees, and I got returned. I don't know if they did it or not. I don't know if they had like team or whatever. I don't know how it got. I mean, I was probably 8, 9, and I wrote to a bunch of the players. And when I'd write, they'd always send me back something every time I got something back. And usually it was like a baseball card or a signed picture or a Yankee sticker. Like I always got some Yankee something back. I loved it because then I go to school and I put my sticker on my notebook or something. They're like, you a Yankee sticker? Yeah, you know, Greg Nettles sent it to me. As if, for you guys know, Greg Nettles was the third baseman of the Yankees in the 70s. And I'm like, yeah, you know, he sent it to me, you know, as if, and I'm thinking like he read I went, oh my God, it's young Larry. Let me send him this. And in my head, when I was 8, I thought, surely he got my letter and sent me the sticker because he cares about me. Yeah, I did believe that. I know it sounds funny, but I did. I was like, yeah, Greg Nettles sent me a sticker. Tell my friends how cool I was. So yeah. Anyway, just thought it was kind of cool. It's funny. But I never met those guys like that. I met them as they were walking in, and most of them would just sign something and walk away. They hardly ever stop to talk. They hardly ever did. They were heading to work. They hardly stopped to talk. But they were stopping. They were very open. That was one thing I liked about those Yankees. And I would also get the other guys when they would come in too from other teams. Some of those I'd get too, but not as much. But some of them would come on and they would sign. They would sign. George Brett signed mine, I remember, from the Kansas City Royals. I remember him. And Chet Lemon from the Chicago White Sox, if I'm not mistaken. A couple of, yes, Carlton Fisk from the Red Sox signed mine once. Because I did like Carlton Fisk, even though I hated the Red Sox. I thought he was great. So those of you guys who are older know who like baseball, know what I'm talking about. Everyone else is like, what are you talking about? I have no idea who you're talking about. Anyway, that was back in the day. So Patty says, I was a viewer who knew Biden had issues. Having been a home health aide and worker in a nursing home, I saw Biden's decline. No way people around him had no clue. I agree with you. Yes, Patty, you're totally correct. It's obvious. Yes, it is absolutely obvious. And they're now trying to somehow jump through hoops and act like that wasn't a thing. But it absolutely was. 100%. Yes, I completely agree. All righty. Craig says, Trump is a narcissist, but most politicians are. True. How many narcissists were running the government as Biden ate ice cream? Another piece. I think you're right. I agree with you. Now, look, to be forward, to run for office, you have to have an ego. Or you can't do it. I mean, I have an ego. Clearly, I have an ego, right? I don't pretend. I have a show with my name on it. When I go outside, I still wear a shirt that says Larry Sharpe for governor. I wear my name on my shirt. So clearly, I have an ego. But you can't run for office if you don't. You cannot be successful. You have to have an ego. You have to believe you can do things right. You have to believe you can be successful, or you can't do it. You can't do that. You're right. The question is, do you have to be a narcissist? No. You don't have to be a narcissist. That's not required. You have to have an ego. You don't have to be a narcissist. And that's the issue. You have to be able to handle narcissists very well. That's the piece, right? You have to be able to handle them. That's it. Dean says, so we have homework. We need to light up Elon's X account with support for Larry Sharpe for governor of New York. Yes. Please. Yes. Liberty Lady says, still 3 Rumble free subscriptions over on Rumble. Head on over there, guys, if you haven't got them. Please grab them if you have. Absolutely, yes. Please grab them if you can. There's one of you can grab them. I would appreciate that. Every bit is going to help. So, Angie says, of course Elon's pissed. His business got trashed while he worked on finding wasted money, only to have Trump blow all the found money in the BB bill. I don't blame him. Angie, I think that's correct. I'm with you. I think Elon Musk feels betrayed. Now, did Trump know this up front? I don't know. Maybe. Did Trump just fall into problems and go, look, I got to sacrifice somebody. I'm sacrificing you. Is that possible? Yes. I don't know if that's true or not. What I know is Elon he got his butt whipped financially. Again, he's not finished, but it's a butt whipping. He got a butt whipping financially for what? As he sees it, for nothing. You're right. That's how he sees it. So yes. John says, blue and orange will always be SU. Syracuse University. Go orange. Yes, that is true. Yes, absolutely. They will see it. Dave goes, Mets came out in 62. There we go. Yeah, you knew it immediately. I knew it was 60 something, but you knew it right away. Yeah, I did not. I wasn't sure when that was. So Craig says, what excuse are AOC and Bernie going to use to fly around on a private plane? Ooh, they don't talk about a clown anymore. They don't bring it up, Craig. You forgot that. They don't talk about that anymore. They don't talk about that anymore. And it's no longer an issue with millionaires. It's only billionaires now. See? Craig, come on now, get the program. It's okay now. And they're saving America. So that makes it okay now. So, yes, that makes it okay. There we go. Dave's heard the orange was from the Giants and the blue was from the Dodgers for the Mets. I don't think that's true. I think it was just New York City colors. It's a common thing you find in New York City teams. I don't think that's true. So, yeah. There we go. All righty. I'll grab that piece if I can. All right. That little lady says, I don't want LP being Democrat light either. Yep. When CLC sees me bashing MC, I tell them that I don't like what they're doing either. F caucus wars, no caucus affiliation. True. I want the cash, lady. Look, sometimes when I go around and visit the LP, different places, sometimes people will say things like, Larry, I know you're about the money. And I go, yeah, when was I not? They act like they're insulting me. Larry, you about your money? Yes. Money gets you influence, gets you the ability to make change. You can be mad at that if you want to. Great, change the system then. I'm not mad at change the system. I wish it was about good. If it was about good ideas, if that's what it was about, I'd be governor of New York already. If it was about good ideas, I would already be governor of New York. That's true. So it's not about good ideas. If it was about good ideas, Ron Paul would have been president already. Done. Massey be the president now. It's not about good ideas. That's not what it's about. I wish it was. I wish it was. I want you to have good ideas. And the problem is many people think, well, you either have good ideas or you sell out. That's silly thinking, common thinking, and silly thinking. You can do both. It is possible. I'm trying my damnness to do both. So yes, that's the issue. It's not about good ideas. I wish it was, but you can do both. So what I'm saying is, I don't want the LP to be Democrat light or Republican light. I want to have more money. What stopped me from winning in 2018? A lot of it, no. So I got my butt kicked in many things that was new, my first time running. But money would have made me break 10% easily. I could have broken 10% in 2018 easily if I had more money. I probably wouldn't have won. Now, looking back now, right? Looking back at all the errors that I made, me not being new to the whole process, could I have actually won in 2018 with more money? Probably not. I wasn't ready for the tactics being used. I didn't know enough. Could I have broken 10%? Yes, that would have been a real thing. Could I have maybe broken 20%? With enough money, maybe. But winning in 2018 was probably impossible for me because I didn't know enough. 2022, could I have won with more money? Yes. By 2022, I had 4 years to learn, to understand the state more, to build relationships. If I had more cash, I could have won. I could have. It would have been possible to win in 2022. Possible. In 2026, if I get the money, I will win. I've learned so much and built up so much and been so many places. Yeah, I won't. The mistakes that were made, the attacks that came at me, I know all of them now. Getting my ass kicked in court 8 times. Oh, yeah. Boy, did I learn. I learned. So, yes, that's for sure. So, Phil says the IP alone is with the fortune. Yes, for him, 100%. For Elon Musk, that's the piece. So, yeah, that's the piece. Piece goes, so does the left love Elon again? I don't think so yet. No. Could that happen in the future? Yes. TDS is very uniting. It's possible, but they'd have to believe him, and he'd have to come back and do a mea culpa. Really, like, I'm sorry, lefties, I apologize, blah, blah. If he did a bunch of that, maybe. Could he be kind of forgotten? Yeah, maybe. But it takes time. Yeah, it takes time. That's the issue. So, Mastermind Hour. The SpaceX government contracts are peanuts. I want to know about the Boeing company contracts. Well, yeah, I agree with you. That's a big deal. I completely agree. But my word about SpaceX is Does Elon Musk then decide to shift and go someplace else? Does he go to the EU? Does he go to Russia? Does he go to China? Because if he goes there, here's the thing that people might say, why in the world are do I care about going to the moon or going to Mars? Because in doing that, you grow technology and IP, which is literally what Phil's talking about. Now, if China gives him the money for it, or Russia does, or the EU does, they get the IP. They get the technology. America doesn't. That's the only thing I'd be concerned about. That'd be it. So yes. Laura says, you would be the best moderator. Cable news is worse than Modern Housewife gossip hour. Yes. She goes on to say, love you, Larry, and my tribe. Oh, thank you. Yes. Bilbo Flapper says, yes, we need space travel. Yes. Not because I care if we land on the planet. I actually don't care if we land on the planet or not. It's nice if we do. It's nice. But the technology, and the example I give often is the idea of having a space station on the moon. If we had a station, a moon base, if we had that, we'd have to learn how to handle and deal with low gravity, radiation, all those things, repairing things, all those things we would use as technology here on Earth, right? Radiation issues. How do we deal with radiation when treating cancer, right? We'd learn all these things. Healing your bones on the moon with no gravity versus healing bones here with gravity. We'd figure out how that works. A/B testing on gravitational pull, stuff like that. So the technology is what I care about. It gives us a reason to create something. It gives us purpose. So that's why I love it so much. I think it is an important piece. We should be trying to go to these places and doing these things. So yes. Yeah. All right. Let's see here. Over on Instagram, Peace Logic says we have free subscriptions to Larry's show on Rumble. Yeah, guys, go over there and grab it if you haven't. Please do so if you can. Yes, that would be amazing. All right, grab some more of these if I can. Phil says no one man should have all this power. True, but no one does. No one does. Yeah. All right. Mike says slim loss of Republicans in the House, 2020 versus a 220 to 218 reversing today. What? Did I miss something? I think I must have missed something. I think I missed something there. All right, maybe I missed. I don't know what that is. Is that to me? I'm not sure where that is. Laura says they are both unable to control their emotions. Often true. One of the reasons why I do this live, Laura, and I do all these live, is I want to be good at responding, right? I want to be good at this and knowing how to respond. It's one of the reasons why I'm good on interviews. One of the reasons why I'm good in the press, being a surrogate for somebody, because I do so many of these live and I take on the questions that are tough, the questions that I mean, and insults. I take them on because I want to be able to respond clearly, control my emotions. And I get triggered sometimes. I am lucky my team gets mad at me when I get triggered and tell me, stop, what are you doing? Stop. They do. But I do get triggered sometimes. I'm still human. I get triggered. But even when I get triggered, it is rare that I say something that I really regret. And if I do, I apologize if I do. And it has happened. But yeah, we'll see. Laura says, I predict that before 2028 election, both parties will implode. I predict that before 2028 elections, both parties will implode. No, they're established, Laura. I wish that were true. They control everything. I wish that were true. That would be amazing. I don't see it. I don't see it. Yes, absolutely. Phil says, thank you for $2. That Liberty lady should do ladies' night when you're on the road. Oh, I like that. All right, have somebody else jump on board. All right, maybe I gotta have somebody else do the show. Okay, I'm over to the idea. Phil, thank you for $2. Major party local committees are built on favors. True, dollars. Yes. If we had cash, you could build out local parties. 100%. People would join on board. We'd have infrastructure. We'd have volunteers. We'd have everything. Yes, agreed. Meeting places. We could pay professionals that would actually run things. Yes, money does matter. Money does matter. Absolutely. I agree with you completely. It could make things better. 100%. So, all righty. I'm going to go down here. House, the 2024 election was good for Libertarians. However, Libertarians can't get out of their own way to be taken seriously. 24 elections were terrible for Libertarians. I don't know what you're talking about. Terrible. Wrecked us. 2024 beat us up. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. No. If you're saying for some people who are more liberty-leaning Republicans, yeah, kind of, yeah. But no, it was terrible for Libertarians. We got wrecked in 2024. We did. We got wrecked. It was bad for us. So yes. All righty. John is teasing Liberty Lady. Chase and Angela agree on something. There's your unity. Yes, that's gonna make Liberty Lady scream. Yeah. She goes on to say, actually, I heard Laura Ingraham on Faux News say that Elon was libertarian. My husband turned to me and said, Elon's libertarian? Wow. Okay, so someone said it. I missed that one. I miss Laura Ingraham. I don't watch her. So someone said it. I like that. Someone did. Okay. I like it. Someone said it. Oh, good. I'm happy anybody said it, right? I'm happy anybody said it. I'll take it. Andrea says, mainstream media thinks libertarians are cuckoo. Well, they're not always wrong. Sometimes we are. So yes, sometimes we are. So anyway, Bob says MAGA is not turning against Trump. See, I didn't think so either, Bob. I'm with you on that one. I mean, I know there are some MAGA people who don't like that. I get it, but I don't see it as a mass at all. Trump is a Republican Party, and voter registration of the Republican Party has increased more in every state in the country. Yeah, I do. I think that's I agree with you, but that's what I think. Look, I could be wrong, but I feel like that's the answer. I don't think people have walked away from him yet at all. I don't. So yeah. All righty. Mike says, except me, at Larry Lovesteak digs at me. Everyone else is safe, but not his favorite conservative Republican. Got to because I'm from North Bronx. Hold on. Oh, that's someone else. That's not for me. All right. At Larry Lovesteak digs at me. I do. I take this to you, Mike, because I love you. You know I do. And I also give you credit when you're right. And you're right. When you're right, I give you credit. So yeah, I do both. Absolutely. There we go. All righty. So Ryan, I explained why I cheer for the Yankees. The Yankees already. So it's clear. I did already. Yes. All righty. Laura says, question for you, Larry. You are unique because you can look at all sides without becoming anti. What are your true antis? I love your space for your debate without hate. Thank you. It isn't that I'm not anti. It's that I try my best to look at what's effective and what works, because I recognize that you have to be able to be effective to get things done. So even if you've heard me say things like this worked, even though I was against it, right? And then one thing I was going to bring this up today, but you look right now in New York City, Mamdani, Zoran Mamdani. People didn't think he was serious. I knew he was serious years ago. I had him on my show 3 years ago because I knew he was a player. I knew he was good at what he was doing. I knew he was charismatic. I saw this years ahead. So that's why I had him on my show years ago when he was just some guy. Now he's running for mayor, and he's proven that I was correct. I saw who he was years ago. I knew he was going to be great, and that's why I had him on, and he's still great. So all good. But the next piece, though, is he is doing well because he has a plan. And I say all the time, when people have a bad plan or no plan, they take the bad plan. His plan is not a good plan. His plan is going to hurt New York if he wins. But he's doing well. Why? He's got an actual plan. I'm going to probably do Sunday on this because you guys are asking. I'll probably do Sunday show on this. I'll be talking about that stuff on Sunday show. When they asked what the plan was, he's like, here's my plan. Boom, 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 boom. I'm saying I hate all of it. But whether I hate it or not, Laura, doesn't mean it doesn't work. I do not think the country should go economically left. However, I recognize that a lot of Americans do. A lot of Americans are happy going economically left because they want an actual answer. That's what they want. And Mamdani provides them with an answer. What am I anti? I'm anti more government. I'm anti, more centralized control. And he is all about that. But it doesn't mean that he's not effective, right? Reading the room matters. If the people want it, the people want it. And again, I keep saying it because it matters, because too many people don't get this. When people have a choice between no answer and a bad answer, they always take the bad answer. That's how it works. So when libertarians go, let me tell you about the theory of libertarianism, nobody gives a shit. Do you have a libertarian answer? And most don't. But government bad, that's not an answer. That's rhetoric, which I don't care about. Do you have an answer? And so some Democrat goes, here's a bad answer. They go, oh, that's an answer. I'll take that. And it happens every time. Libertarians get mad. How can they vote these bad answers? Because you had no answer, dude. You had libertarian rhetoric, which means nothing. No one cares. Nobody cares. Do you have a libertarian answer? You do? They'll listen. They'll listen. People ask me all the time, Larry, how'd you get on Joe Rogan? How'd you get on Joe Rogan? I am, to my knowledge, the only actively running politician, the exception of presidency, not presidency, to ever be on a show. If you can find me someone else who is, I'd love to see it, but I think I'm the only one. How'd I do that? Because he liked my answers. He liked my K through 10 plan for school. He liked my leasing out naming rights to bridges to pay for infrastructure. He liked my libertarian answers. He liked how I could privatize 2 years of school by still abide by my New York State Constitution. He enjoyed those ideas. He liked them. Having ideas is what matters. So yes, that's all I'm saying. So yeah, I can tell I'm not mad at somebody. I'm not even mad at Mamdani. I disagree with him, but I actually think, I mean, if you see my debate with, I'm not debate, my interview with him, I didn't debate him, my interview with him, he's a nice guy. Mamdani actually wants to fix things. He's just wrong. And people get mad at him. He's a terrible person. He's not. And I go back to the same person I always go back to, Thomas Sowell. Thomas Sowell, one of the best libertarian thinkers in this entire country. One of the best. Top 5, for sure. One of the best. Used to be a Marxist. Why, because he's dumb? No, he's brilliant. Thomas Sowell is brilliant. But with the information that he had and the experience that he had, he believed that Marxism was the right answer. He then got new information and new experience. He worked for the government and realized, okay, this doesn't work. And he became a libertarian. I think Mamdani could become libertarian, in theory, if he had the right information, and because he is trying to do the right thing. That's the piece. He's trying to do the right thing. I know I went long on that, Laura, but I hope I at least answered your question. I think success is what matters, right? And how do we fix things? How do we make things work? And even when people are successful, we should know how we can stop it, even if we had to. How do we stop it, right? One of the things I'll say all the time is anyone who thinks they can't be fooled will be fooled. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Your best defense against being fooled is recognizing you can be fooled. Once you recognize that, and that's how people fool you. When you recognize that, you can now go, yeah, I could be fooled. Oh, I could have fallen for that. Damn, I could have fallen for that. So I'm trying to show people, here's how it actually works. Don't be fooled by the thing. That's the issue. So, yeah. Any case. All right, so if I can grab some of these, if I can. Bilbo Flapper says, I believe George Orwell had the same character arc. Probably. That makes sense. Yes. Americua says, Larry is a successitarian. Ooh, yes. I'm a successitarian. I like that. That's a good one. I love that. That is great. Adrian says, if politicians had spent more of that money on building a strong America, we wouldn't be in debt. True. But they were too busy trying to build empire. Yes. Gene says, I saw you moderate a libertarian debate. I was truly impressed. It's not easy to get libertarians to stop talking. Yes. I am a good moderator. It's one of my skill sets. Yes. I one of my skill sets is definitely one of those. 100%. Yes. Peace. Thank you for the $20, my friend. $2, my friend. Larry, do you have a PDF with your full New York plan? I could get one, but it's on LarrySharpe.com. But I could probably get one. Look, I'm not running now. If I do, I will create a bunch of things, as I always do, right? Whenever I run, I actually create all the things. I create all the stuff I can put out everywhere. I absolutely do that. Yeah, I do that. So, but I don't have one yet because I'm just a consultant. Peace. That's all I am. And yeah, that's it. Adrian says, I agree. Maha put trouble for the top. True. Again, he might have won, right? He might have won. Anyway, I don't know, but he would not have gotten the mandate without the unity ticket he brought. Not just Maha. Maha, yes. Also, I think Tulsi helped. I think Elon helped. I think they all helped, right, to put him over the top. And that's true. Yes. Liberty says, I heard Liberty Dad use a good analogy of libertarian values. He says, right now, the government is the size of a beach ball. I want the size of a marble. People can relate to that. Yeah. It is big. But again, the question becomes, how do you then, from that, still serve the people without hurting them? So that's the issue. Case John says, look up pragmatism dictionary and you'll see Larry's pick. Oh, thank you for that. Yes, that's I appreciate that. Yes, absolutely. Mike says you are way behind the chat. I know. It's hard. It's hard. The chat is crazy. I'm trying to grab who I can as fast as I can. I am. Yes, I'm going I'm going to go to my way to grab as ones I can to the best of my ability. I am trying. It is challenging, but I do appreciate everyone who's been popping stuff in. I appreciate all the things you guys have been doing, and I haven't done what I should be doing. And here's where I'm messing up, guys. Click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Please click that button. It does matter. I know you guys say, Larry, I love the show. Great, then show it, prove it. Click the like button. If you don't click the like button, then you hate the troops. I don't know why you would hate the troops. Don't do that. Don't hate the troops. They're nothing to you. So instead, click the button known as like. It does matter. If you have not shared this someplace or reposted this someplace, if you haven't yet, please repost this someplace. It does not matter where you post it. You post wherever you want. Post it on X, whatever, Twitter. You pick the thing. Please do it either way. It does matter. Also, if you haven't followed me, please follow me on Facebook and X and Rumble. I'm trying to get Rumble to 500 people. I'm only at like 400 something. Rumble, I've been relatively new working on that. So if you can get over there, it'd be great. If you have not subscribed to Sharpe Way on YouTube, please do so. And make sure you click all notifications. If you say, Larry, I've already subscribed, you might have been unsubscribed. YouTube just randomly unsubscribes people. So please do that if you can. Membership, guys, a bunch of them came up today. If you can grab them, please grab the memberships. It does matter. $29 per month. Now, remember our rule for anyone who took any of the free ones. If you make $2 million or more per month, you may not take a free one. You got to pay. If you make less than $2 million per month, you can take any of the ones that come up. The gifts, take the gifts if you want to. But if you don't, you have to pay $2 million or more. Don't be cheap. You make $2 million a month. Pay $49. $49 is a good price for this. I appreciate it, guys. So the more that I have, the less I have to actually work. So it means the more I can do this, which is what I'm trying to do. Yes, I'm going to do that. Yes. So Elvis says, Governor Sharpe. I like the sound of that. Me too. Yes, I like that. Filter Troll says, bro, what the F? Not liking means hating troops. No, you. Click the like button then. Mr. Troll, you troll so much, I will troll you right back. Did you click the like button? You didn't? You hate the troops. How about that? Just did you. There we go. Yeah, I read your chat, troll. I tell people, I put the negative ones out too. You think I just put nice ones out? I put them all out. People who attack me come up. People who love me, I put them all up. I do not fear your chat. I hope you come here and stay for the troll. I hope you keep going, and I hope you keep trolling. And I hope you click the like button. Otherwise, you hate the troops. Yes, you do. You hate the troops if you do not do that. So yes, there we go. Yes, that's all I'm saying. So please don't hate the troops. Click the button known as like. It does matter. I do pay attention to people who are chatting. I try my best to make sure it happens. So yes, Joel says, I like that the chat here is about 50% of us talking to each other. That's the point I love about this. I agree completely. The chat's really good. You guys chat with each other. You chat with me. You go back and forth. And we do a lot. It does go off sometimes, I know, but I think it creates a much better community. Even when people get mad at me, even when people talk back and forth, I think it creates a lot of community. And for the people like for the troll, if you insult me, you can stay. I don't mind people insulting me all the time. It's fine. If you insult others in the chat, if you are vulgar, one of the moderators will probably ban you for 24 hours. If you insult someone here vulgarly. So if you want to be vulgar, you can insult somebody if you don't like their ideas, say they're wrong, whatever, no worries. If you are vulgar to someone other than me, the odds are very high that one of the moderators is going to ban you for 24 hours. Not even ongoing, just 24 hours. So please don't vulgarly insult the members of the chat. You can vulgarly insult me. That's okay. That's fine. Just not the rest. That's all I'm asking you. So yeah, just so that's clear in case there's any concerns, things like that. So yeah. Laura says, I laugh at the cold, hard truth of your answer, Larry. Effective matters. Yes. What the people have an appetite for matters. Yes. I applaud your stand on determination. Great advice in your answer. Oh, thank you for that. I appreciate that. Guys, here's what I'm going to ask you. Again, if you haven't clicked the like button, please do so. Last thing I'll ask you is remember that the algorithm, the Al Gore rhythm. After the live, please put a comment. Please put a comment in the chat. I'm going to ask you, please tell me what you think about Elon Musk. him leaving, staying? What do you think? Please put that in the chat. I will try my best in the next couple of days as I start to catch up on things. I got some personal I got rid of, try to catch up on things. I'll try to respond to all of them. I know I'm behind on a lot of responses, but I will try that if you can. Please put in afterwards, after this is over, please put in the chat what you think about Elon Musk and him leaving. What's your opinion either way, good or bad? I'll try to respond if I possibly can. Remember, if this is not live, if you're watching this and it's afterwards, it's like Saturday or Sunday or something, you're probably going to see 2 videos pop up right here. When they pop up, please do me a favor. Click on them right away. Algo loves that. And watch for at least 8 or 10 minutes. Guys, I want to thank you so much. I will see you all